Okay. I'm always missing something. There it is. Not today. Not today. Okay. What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a very, very quick Sunday show. I'm gonna time it around about maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet,
no.
it's this dope tech from Wix.
How about you dope not? How about that? Let me go put a timer on for about 3 hours and 30 minutes. We are gonna get up out of here on time today. Okay, about 3 hours and 30 minutes. Again, big shout out. What? Okay, there's an advertisement on my live stream. They say I'm live. Am I live? I see you guys there. What's going on, everybody? Alexander Clifton. Okay, cool. That's a weird one. Oh, no. No, I see the chat. Okay. What's going on? Now, I made some interesting artwork, and I plan on making a video. I don't make a lot of videos. It will be a PC Master Race centric video. It will be very short, but it will not be a short. It won't be a YouTube Shorts. It's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be one of those type of feedback videos. I'll be asking a simple question, and it will, like I said, it'll be for the PC community. So we will see how that goes. Let's see. I've been I'll just tell you guys this. I've been watching a lot of, well, not a lot of YouTubers. I think I got about 4 good YouTubers that do reactions. Cinepals, which is spelled CINEPALS, and then I watch Movie Munchies, and they're really good on reactions. Movie Munchies, I think, is the best because they have the full image of the movie. Now, because of copyright, obviously they cut down their reactions of the movie. You can't watch the whole movie on YouTube without getting copyrighted, but I feel like they did a great job. And I always wanted something like that. I don't think I would ever be skilled enough to do it. I don't have a professional editor, and nor do I want to have one. I don't trust a lot of people with my personal details of my YouTube account, so that's not gonna happen. But I do want to do like a movie watch along. We did one a while ago, maybe a few years back, where we watched Ready Player One on our Discord. So I do want to do another one, where we would just watch some of my favorite movies that are clearly underrated but really good. And a lot of these movies have gotten so much better with time that at the time when they came out, people were, it was like mixed reactions or people didn't like it. But now so much time has gone by and the movie industry sucks so much that they look at these movies that they didn't give a chance to back then, and they're like, wow, that's a really good movie. Because again, by today's standard, like, that's gold star compared to the trash we're getting right now. So that's awesome. I am excited about Superman. I plan on taking the whole day off and enjoying it. I'm going to be picking up my Superman shirt, an all black Superman shirt with the new symbol. I wanted to get the Kingdom Come symbol Superman. I think it's my fault that I waited so fucking long because I no longer find that on Amazon. But I'm going to see if another retailer sells it. And then I'm going to see if I can pick it up from that retailer sometime this week before the movie comes out on July 11th. Because again, between now and then, it'll be real quick. Death Stranding is coming out. And yeah, let's break into it. So you guys seen this picture I made with AI. Big shout out to AI. I don't really do all like the crummy shit. I do things that really matter. I don't try to like fake anything. I think my descriptions are pretty accurate, so you're not really seeing a lot of inconsistencies. And if I do have an image that looks shit, I normally don't share it. So here we go. This is Kratos. We got Master Chief, Mario, and a pirate. Kratos is a representation of PlayStation. We have Master Chief as a representation of Xbox. And the only reason why we use Master Chief and not anybody else is because you don't know anybody else. And Halo has yet to be confirmed for PlayStation. So Halo is still the face of Xbox until it is officially confirmed. When it is officially confirmed, at that point in time, I will not announce my retirement. However, it should be the retirement time to retire if you're a fanboy of Xbox. I don't feel like there should be any reason for you to continue. Xbox fans took a big hit in their morale this weekend, as you know, with the Gears of War Reloaded beta. Me and Afro had noticed something, is that when, even when we had crossplay on for the Gears of War Reloaded beta, again, they're able to play that on Xbox for basically for free, because you have Gears of War Reloaded in Game Pass, and if you previously owned any of the other versions of the Gears of War game, then you get this one downloaded for free. So Xbox fans have more access to Gears of War than we would, because we have to pay for the game. Now, the game is only $40, and they only have a $40 version. That's it. So PlayStation fans buy games more than Xbox. But again, there's tons of Xbox fans over there, and a lot of them already own the first Gears, so they already have access to it. The weirdest thing is going online and going against different people, and still, even if you have crossplay on, most of the people you're coming in contact with are PlayStation dudes. The second will be PC, and then you get some Xbox fans. I feel like our going farther and farther into our gameplay when I did the JayTech plays, like the longer we played, the more we just kept seeing, like it was a mixed bag of like PlayStation, PC, Xbox. Our whole team was PlayStation, but we only did one match with all Xbox fans. I think they whooped our ass. They were doing good. I think Afro and his friend was doing good. Me and whoever I had, not so much. Gears is new for me, but it is an old game with old mechanics. I feel like going to Uncharted was much more my speed, much quicker, more. I feel like the controls were more accurate on where I was and what I was doing, like the wall hugging. I mean, I can understand that taking cover, but just being able to hug all the walls, it's a little confusing. Button layout was confusing for me too. I did eventually get the hang of it, and I felt really good with my role on a couple of our wins that we got. Again, may not be the best at shooting at the head or whatever, but I can damage them, so the rest of my team can have a much easier job finishing the kill. I don't mind racking up assist points if we can get that W. So me and Afro, Afro's talked about Gears a lot. He grew up playing Gears. He switched over to PlayStation, and he was like, he talked about Gears a lot. So I told Afro, if Gears came over, I would pick the game up. That's why I picked it up. I told him, if we do get Gears, I'll be there with you, bro. I'll pick that damn game up. and that is exactly what I did. I kept my promise to Afro, and I said, you know what, man, it's over, so I'm gonna pick it up. So me and him are gonna be playing through the campaign together. We're probably gonna have a couple of streams together where we're playing through the campaign, and obviously I'll be hopping back on the multiplayer. So that should be awesome. So again, you guys know the pirate is a representation of PC because they pirate games a lot. It's not to be a joke. It's actually serious. These guys really pirate a lot of games. I have one new. Actually, yeah, I have one new image that I created with AI that I thought was funny. That PC fans are not gonna think is funny. I don't think they think that the PC pirate is funny. But I tried to look for accurate mascots for PC, and you can't really use any, like, you know, the Half-Life shit, like the Half-Life orange box bundle with Team Fortress. That was on PS3 and 360 back in the day. I even played Counter-Strike Global Offensive on PS3 back in the day. So like those I don't look at as exclusive. Crysis ended up coming over to PlayStation. Doom, Duke Nukem, all those. These are games that people have talked to me about. It's like, nah, they're not. You know, they're available on consoles, and you know, a lot of people play them on consoles. I can't really think of a PC mascot. But I will be having a short video this week. My days off this week will be Tuesday and Friday. So if there is big news between Wednesday and Thursday in the morning, I'll be covering that in the evening, again around 4 p.m. just to give myself enough time to get home and get everything set. And then on Friday, I'm off. Don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Quite possibly we're gonna be doing a JTech plays. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Let me go see. I wanted to. Hopefully everything's set here. No, that is the right one. Now, where's the other image? Is this it? No, that's not it. Okay. What am I fucking up on? Not the Sunday show, the overpaper? Okay. There we go. Cool. There we go. So I'm going to share this image, and I also want to tell you guys that we do have the Sony financials on hand. Now we have a video. I tested the video out, and the video would not play. Well, I mean the video would play, but it didn't play with sound. I'll try again, and I want to get some also important details out the way. So let's talk a little bit about this image. So Kojima did end up going to PlayStation's headquarters. They're doing a major promotion. This is a big game for PlayStation. So if you guys were like, oh, Sony doesn't really care about it anymore because they gave the rights back to Kojima. Not back to him, but they gave the rights to Kojima for Death Stranding, which me personally, I don't understand it, but I feel like that was a Herman and Jim Ryan type of deal. I think that if Totoki was in charge, that would not have happened. But I think that was a Herman and Jim Ryan deal. Like normally PlayStation, if they have the IP rights to something that's popular, they're not going to give it back to the fucking developer. Not gonna fucking do that just so that the developer can put it on all platforms and then make your platform not too valuable in that respect. So I feel that was really stupid of Sony to do. They don't normally do it. It's unheard of. I can only blame Jim Ryan and Herman for allowing that to happen. So what I will say, when it comes to Death Stranding 2, you already know Sony fully funded both projects. That shit is very expensive, right? I'm hoping that Sony, and it looks like it's happening, has very good communication with Kojima as to not fucking over the launch by prematurely announcing Death Stranding 2 for PC or Xbox before next year at least. Because the only real platform where you're going to be able to sell this game is going to be on PlayStation. PC fans did not give two fucks about Death Stranding 1 or the director's cut when they got it. Xbox fans got Death Stranding. They did not care about it. They used it as ammunition in a console war. So they went online and they started teasing us, but they never had any real intention on buying or playing the game. And you can check their achievement percentage and see that I'm telling the truth on that. So again, yes, the game started as an exclusive, so you kind of make sense. But then again, it was Kojima that wanted this game to go to all platforms. And I just don't think that these developers have any real connection with the console war. You need a connection with the fanboy side of the console war so you can accurately assess where is the best place to sell your game. If you don't, you're going to be shooting a lot of blanks. And that is what happened with Death Stranding 1. He shot a blank. He heard some chatter that people liked his stuff on PC, and what he ended up doing is putting it on PC. He got absolutely no fucking response when he actually did put it on PC, and the same thing happened with Xbox, if not less. So I know he learned his lesson. I know he knows where his real fans is, but again, even PlayStation listened to the chatter when it comes to PC port begging years prior. And they're now learning their lesson. Yeah, we're putting all our games over there, but not everything does good. I think the only real successful games that they have on PC, first, is Death Stranding 2, and second, the newly released Stellar Blade for obvious gooner reasons, right? I love the game. I picked it up day one. I think it's awesome. I love the female character model. I love that they gave her great shape. The jiggle physics are awesome. The hair design, the glasses, outfits are great. Don't get me started on the combat and the story, as well as the music. I think the game is amazing. But let's not be fools here. We know why PC fans are actually picking it up. From what we got details on, about 56 or more percentage of the people that picked the game up are actually in China or other countries, not the United States, which goes along with what I was thinking about, that, yeah, in the United States, the PC gamers are very cheap. They're not going to pay $50 or $60 for Death Stranding, no matter how great it is. But they did crack the game. I don't know how many copies have been pirated, but they did crack the game, I think, on day one. It doesn't really take them long to crack games now. Maybe an hour, maybe a few. I don't know. But yeah, I have Death Stranding 2 Deluxe Edition pre-ordered day one. I'm ready for it. I enjoyed the first one. I platinumed the first one. I went and supported the other one. What was the other one I supported? Shit. I gotta remember. I know I supported Death Stranding and the Death Stranding Director's Cut. I got a platinum on both of those. I love the story. I love everything about Death Stranding. And I told Afro as well, this is the second game where, me and Afro, we had talked, and I was like, bro, well, I know I missed all the Metal Gear games, and I don't want to go back and play them. I'm not that big on stealth and shit. But I did say, hey, man, if, Death Stranding comes over, it's good. I'm going to pick it up and support it, and, I'll be a part of that franchise, and I'm loving it. So, yeah, I made this fucking image because this image is powerful. I mean, I thought it was going to be powerful when I made it, but you got to understand the parallels of what's going on this year. Kojima is bringing out the second installment of his new IP, which is Death Stranding 2, and then he's going head to head with his greatest creation, which was Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. So I think it's funny. Now, Death Stranding 2 launches at the end of this month, and Snake Eater comes out, I believe, towards the end of August. So there is some time in between the two. But the two will be compared, and I love comparisons. whether positive or negative, I can't wait to see them. It will also be a test between, the Decimate engine and Unreal Engine 5. So I am definitely going to really enjoy the Digital Foundry comparisons of the two engines, as well as the other people's comparisons of the game itself. So that's going to be fun. So we covered the Kojima thing. We have the Sony meeting. And let's see if we can go and cover any of that stuff real quick. Because they say we have access to these links. So let's see. I'm sipping on some energy drink. I got absolutely no sleep. I'm on a 55-minute fucking nap that I had at work. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So that first link is taking us to the video. Now, again, big shout out to Sick Humor. I heard the Sick Humor had already covered the video, but I had not. I'm also well aware that, of course, that's not supported. I'm also well aware that. So the one thing I wanted to fucking cover, I can't even cover it. I want to cover something, but I can't cover it. Wow, I'm really fucking disappointed in that. I will try. So there's some images I'm about to go share, and it's gonna be from the financial report. So Sony had their financial report this past week. It was accompanied by a video where we finally see Herman Hulse again. He does have somebody over top of him. Shit, he has two people over top of him, so he can't go crazy and do stupid shit. But I do want to put all of this information. So you're seeing the images I'm talking about. So we're gonna probably go with about 5 images real quick. So we got that one. We got this one. Now, I've looked over all 42 pages, and there is no mention of PC. There is no PC breakdown. So that's roughly about, I think it's about 3 straight years of them just not doing the PC breakdown anymore. We saw them do the PC breakdown during the first 2.5 years, but over the last 3 years, almost 3 years, they just haven't done it. They stopped doing the PC breakdown. We don't know. Fuck, I know. I believe that they just don't make enough money on average from the PC to do good. Yeah, Helldivers did really good, and that's awesome, but it didn't do enough to say, hey, we're making a significant amount of money on PC. We want to go day and date. And they decided not to do day and date. Okay. I think that's about 5, right? Okay, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll go get this last image just to be funny. Let's have some fun. That's this one. And there's another one. Okay. Here's the good part. So I'm pretty sure you guys already saw this image. This is a real image. Let me zoom all the way in. I'm gonna move the chat out the way if you guys don't mind. Just gonna move the chat real quick. Still there. Hopefully I don't bug it out this time. So in this image, you can see that they say the physical year of 2025. They have Ghost of Tsushima and they have Death Stranding 2. Right? Now, this is very important. What I'm about to tell you is what nobody else has talked about because they don't talk about these details. Big shout out to MBG for putting out false information again. He says that Intergalactic and Wolverine are a part of the physical year of 2026. But in reality, that would mean Wolverine would have to come out by the end of March of next year. That would be great. What that means when it comes to our numbers, what we've covered for multiple years here on the PlayStation Legion, that September of this year, Wolverine would be seen again in a State of Play or PlayStation Showcase, and it would get a new major update. Like, they would give us more details, possibly a release date or a new release window. Of course, gameplay, new screenshots, and maybe a full-on beginning to their marketing strategy. Wolverine is going to do just fine, even with the leaks. Last of Us Part 2 proved that. Gamers can see that leak and say, that's cool, I still want to buy the game, I still want to play it. Wolverine is going to be very similar to The Last of Us in regards to violence and the blood. And people want to experience that violence. They want to experience that blood. Plus, it's Wolverine. Is going to be lots of X-Men Easter eggs, possibly Spider-Man Easter eggs, Marvel Easter eggs, and the outfits are probably going to be awesome as well. I think that Insomniac has done a great job with the Spider-Man game, and that's why they were given the honor to do Wolverine. And from rumors show us from the leak, is that after Wolverine, they're going to be doing X-Men, and it will be like a multiplayer or co-op experience. And then after that, they can pretty much do anything. And as you already know, Sony also has the deal with the other Marvel game, the Marvel Token Fighting Souls game. But that's going to be by Sony XDev and Arc System Studios. So, Sony got their hands in the Marvel treasure trove, and they're doing great things. I'm going to tell you right now, Disney must be okay with the Wolverine leak. They're going to bounce back. They probably worked it out behind the scenes with Insomniac and Sony how to bounce back, how to get this shit out, get that money, and they're still going to work with Sony. It wasn't their fault. You know, it's just a sign of the times. It's a lot of leaking. It's a lot of piracy. It's a lot of bullshit when it comes to cybersecurity. So that was going to happen to one of their games. So let's just continue. Let's go see when the physical year for 2026 is, so we can get that information to you right now. When is the financial year for PlayStation's 2026?
PlayStation is part of Sony, and Sony's financial year ends on March 31st. Therefore, the financial year for PlayStation 2026 runs from April 1st, 2025 to March 31st, 2026.
So, April 2025 to March 2026. So, I will say that MBG has been giving the PlayStation gamers false information and false hope, and he believes that the financial year of 2026 is deeper into 2026, but in reality, the financial year started in April. Now, Death Stranding and Ghost of Yotai, they are part of the entire year of 2025, but they've already started their promotion. The games are pretty much all done. I think Death Stranding 2 already went gold. Ghost of Yotai is coming out in October. Could it get delayed? I don't think they want to. Just 2 fucking games this year. That's just how it is. And then the upcoming, which does not say, I want to be 100% clear with everybody. Nowhere does it say 2026. So if you hear from MBG or anybody else that the upcoming is referring to 2026, that is not the case. Sony could end up skipping all of next year with both of these games, since Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to carry the shit out of PS5 just on autopilot. I'm dead ass serious. You know what I'm talking about. When the second trailer got announced and we saw it, people picked up a PS5 and PS5 Pro as if Grand Theft Auto had pre-orders open. And it was a fucking trailer that made people go out and buy a PlayStation. So, Grand Theft Auto 6 has power just unseen by anyone else for any other game in all of gaming history. It has unnatural fucking power. But these are the upcoming games. So, upcoming, you would expect upcoming is 2026. So, Intergalactic, I still think it's a little ways away, but we did see in-game footage because, again, Naughty Dog, they're good. I mean, they're really good, and we know that that's how they do with their engine. They always have something ready. Insomniac is really good, too, and they always have their footage in-game and everything. Wolverine was a little different, but when I go back and look at it, it's like, okay, yeah, it was CGI, but they made it. So it could be a very snippet like of in-game of what they wanted to show, but they still labeled it as full CGI. We've already seen the leaks. We know it's possible. This game gets 2 years of polish, which I believe it's been getting, and making sure everything's different a little bit. It's going to be a great experience. I think I can see Wolverine coming out by the end of next March, but I don't see Intergalactic coming out next year. I feel like that's going to be like 2027, the beginning of 2027, or they can really get that game out there. Maybe they can get it out by maybe they can get Intergalactic out there by at least the end of next year. But again, I'll be pushing it. I feel like bring Wolverine out at least by the beginning of next year, which again, that would be falling in line with towards the end of their financial year. And then that's it. Like, I mean, you bring out Wolverine next year, and then you also have Grand Theft Auto. You won. You fucking won. Now, if Wolverine's been worked on the way that they say, and we know all hands on deck over there in Insomniac, everything else is canceled. There's no multiplayer for Spider-Man. There's no expansion for Spider-Man when it comes to Carnage or Venom. There's no standalone Venom game spinoff. All that bullshit was either canceled or false rumors. We don't know what else they would be working on. All we know right now is Wolverine. That is it. If they have their entire studio working on Wolverine, that is some deep shit. I think best case scenario, we get Wolverine at the end of the year for the holiday season. Worst case scenario, it comes out before the end of March. But you get, like, if it's an April game, which I think Ratchet and Clank might have been, that's cool. But me personally, man, knowing these calendars, I've been keeping track of this for years now. I've been really good on this. And this is all developers, big, medium, and big, medium, and small. You cannot bring your game out 2 months before Wolverine, Grand Theft Auto 6, because the Grand Theft Auto 6 hype is radiant. It is shining. That 2 months out, no one's gonna touch anything else. They are going to be paralyzed by hype, and they are only going to be waiting for the release, even 2 months out. You think I'm joking? Just take a look at what the second trailer did to the internet. Take a look what it did to the industry. Take a look at what it did to the gaming community. I would not advise any developer, including Sony or any of their first-party studios, to bring out their game 2 months before Grand Theft Auto comes out. That is a death sentence. It's similar to Horizon Forbidden West coming out a week before Elden Ring or some shit like that. It just was not worth it. You gotta read the room. Wolverine is great. Wolverine is popular. But it doesn't hold a candle to Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, if Grand Theft Auto 6 is even bigger than what I'm telling you right now, then the radiation of hype spreads about 3 months before it comes out. That means you don't bring out Wolverine in the beginning of next year. And you hope for the best at the end of next year. Very end. Holiday season. So that's where I'm looking at Wolverine. Best case scenario, holiday season of this year. But then again, that can't happen because they already got Ghost of Yotai for holiday season of this year. So Wolverine can't come out. It's a weird thing. It's a weird situation. So that's why I see when they say upcoming, maybe they're not even talking about both of these games in 2026. Maybe they just automatically got pushed to 2027 because they understand that Grand Theft Auto 6 as a third-party game is going to carry the fuck out of PlayStation next year. That they don't need a first-party title. Me personally, I want a first-party title. I know you as PlayStation gamers and fans, we want first-party titles. When it comes to the console war, that would not be good for ammunition, you know? Although Xbox is already dead, it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, is like, yeah, you wouldn't have any first-party games next year. Grand Theft Auto 6 would just carry the PlayStation 5 on autopilot to a fucking victory, but it's chess not checkers with Sony. And I feel like if they can get that default victory just off of Grand Theft Auto 6 alone, they'll take it. Other than that, you're just going up against Grand Theft Auto 6. Which would be a conflict of interest. You'd be going against yourself. And you would sentence any game that comes out next year to almost certain death. Because I think that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be more dangerous after it comes out than the 3 months before it comes out. So there'll be a big countdown. I mean, look, over the last 3 years, I've never seen a countdown like that. People generated content when there was no content. Imagine what happens when the game is like 3 months away. Boy. I mean, oh man. So that's where I'm at with Wolverine. Best case scenario, we get it at the end of this year. Second best, the beginning of next year, like February. Or I don't want to say March. I feel like March is way too close to Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto comes out May and towards the end of May. So you would have all of May, and then have April. March, April, May. Yeah, that's not good. You got March is the launch month, so that really doesn't count for Grand Theft Auto, because that's the launch month. Some people will be like, yeah, it's out. I mean, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna feel like it's out, even though it's not out. It comes out at the end of May, but once you're in that month, you're locked in. So fuck May. You got April and March. It's 2 months. Again, me personally, I do not think that Sony needs to put out a game that won't be able to have long legs because it's cut off by Grand Theft Auto. So if you bring out Wolverine, even if you bring it out in January or February, the legs that it definitely should and will have will automatically be cut off by the hype of Grand Theft Auto 6. And this is something that I don't think they're thinking of. I'm a gamer. I know how this is. I know how I am. I know how you guys are. And I studied this, and I have perfected this pattern of knowing how this shit ends. And I am so fucking spot on. The leaks didn't kill Wolverine, but Grand Theft Auto 6 can. You know what I'm saying? People's connection to Aloy didn't kill Horizon Forbidden West. You know, that game was great, and they did a much better job with Aloy and supporting cast and everything. But Elden Ring definitely did. If you see that correlation, you're like, yeah, maybe they need to back up. It's gonna be a tricky situation, but I hope they got some big brains there. Hopefully they do some testing, and not from California, because the gamers in California are not a representation of the gamers elsewhere in the world, or whether it's the South, North, or East. The motherfuckers in California, all these tests and Q&A tests they do over there, they are some weird shit. And I think that the industry needs to stop doing focus groups over in California, because they sound batshit crazy, and that's why the gaming industry is in, you know, the shape that it's in right now, and attempts to recover. Same thing could be said from the movie industry and the TV show industry, but I digress on those. Yeah, don't get feedback from West Coast. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And most of them are not even real gamers. I said what I said. Let's continue. Obviously timestamps will be here. So this is what we got right here. They said in this segment, they said consoles and beyond. They show the Portal. They show PS5. They show the accessories, PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Store. And then they show this, they showed what they're known for. MLB the show. Horizon. You got Astrobot. They know what's their flagship. You got The Last of Us, you got Helldivers, you got Destiny, and you got stupid ass Marathon, because Herman is really banking on Marathon, just like his dumbass was banking on fucking Concord. Marathon comes out and flops. I've already been calling for his job for a number of years. I think that a lot of people that told me to calm down on Herman, they're going to be the same fucking way. When Marathon comes out and flops, the people that told me to calm down on not liking Herman, they're going to be right beside me saying, damn, Jay, you were right. This guy needs to go. If he cannot understand that no one likes or cares about Marathon right now, Sony is walking into a financial disaster on the same exact level as Concord. I think it might be worse. Because Concord came out first, people already know what they don't like. And this is what they don't like. But again, as you can see, I need to go back on that page. As you can see up on that graphic, the newest thing that they're banking on is Marathon. That's the newest thing. I don't see God of War up here, so maybe God of War is gonna be on a rotation, which means they're gonna give it a rest. I don't see Killzone. I don't see Uncharted. I don't see Ratchet and Clank. Don't see Spider-Man. Don't see any of that other stuff. Don't even see Wolverine here. Don't even see Ghost of Yotai in this graph. But hey, this is what it is. I will say, when it comes to the second half of this image, all these games are on PC, including Last of Us, both Part 1 and Part 2. Destiny, we already know. Then over here, these games are on PC, but not Astrobot. And I'm not sure about MLB. I don't know if that's on PC or not. But I think when they say consoles and beyond, they are obviously talking about PC. They're not talking about anything else. They were pretty clear in the interview that I listened to that, they're not going to go day and date. I don't think they saw the growth that they wanted to see. And I just want to go over a little bit of this stuff right here. So again, they're showing that, in the first financial year, establishing their live service studio, their portfolio, obviously it was MLB The Show. It's always been there. Destiny, obviously. Helldivers, obviously. And then they're talking about financial year 2025 and upcoming. Upcoming can only mean 2026 until we see how damaging Grand Theft Auto is, and then we'll push our plans back to 2027. And then a part of the financial assessment next year will be how good the third-party partners, and we're talking about Take-Two and Rockstar, has done in support of the growth of PlayStation hardware and PlayStation Plus and stuff like that. Because again, Grand Theft Auto 6 definitely carries the potential to raise everything up exponentially. So it is going to happen. I will say that Fair Games and Marathon are giving me Concord vibes, and I'm not the only gamer that says that. I am not the only gamer that feels like that, and I'm not going to fucking shut up. I'm not going to wait until both of these games come out to fucking say I was right. No. Let the record show, first of all, I was against Marathon before I was against Concord. I was like, bro, this shit is too colorful. I already know that the anti-woke gang is going to be against this. I already know that I don't like it. I don't like that they're going for a certain art style, even though they were showing CGI. When we finally got the real graphics, it was worse. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to go over. Then you got Arc Raiders and, direct competition to Marathon. Everybody loved Arc Raiders beta. At the same time, Marathon struggled during their open beta to their closed beta at the point that they opened the beta and allowed you to capture gameplay and post gameplay in a sad attempt to get more people out there to recognize it. And of course, people did, and they recognized that they didn't like it. Fair Games has not been shown. No gameplay, no updates. The founder of Haven Studio, Jade Raymond, she left. We don't know where she is. We don't know why she left. That was her studio. Sony acquired the studio, looking for another golden goose in the live service, and that didn't help. Again, Concord came out last year, but Helldivers was the fucking Dark Knight. Helldivers was the Dark Knight. Concord came out last year. Helldivers was the Dark Knight. It carried. It really did carry PlayStation a lot. I mean, I want you to take a look at what Helldivers is, but again, they're just showing it for the different financial years. But I want you guys to understand that if they was to talk about like how many people they have on users and stuff, yeah, that's interesting. Now, take a look at this. Day and date releases on PlayStation and PC. So, MLB The Show, I guess it is on PC. I didn't see it on PC. I don't know. I don't really keep track of MLB on PC. So if it's on there, it is. I know about Destiny. I know about Helldivers. Marathon's gonna die on PC. The anti-woke gang started on PC. I kept track of them. I support them. I don't believe in the woke shit. I think Marathon is super woke. I think it's even woker than fucking Concord, and the art style and graphics are worse. Fair Games is probably going to get canceled. But I know they don't want to because they're fucking stubborn. They really desperately want a live service game. But at what cost? If you can't see that the community doesn't like these two games, Marathon and Fair Games, and you bring them out and you eat dirt, I don't think that you're going to have another Helldivers. Helldivers is doing good, don't get me wrong. And once they come out with the next big update, it's going to do good. And, people love Helldivers, and they're doing great with Helldivers, right? Keeping it afloat after so many sabotages They're doing good with it. Marathon of Fair Games is going to hurt Sony. It may not hurt them that much because Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to really do good on PlayStation and for PlayStation, but why bring out 2 games? Like, can you not see that people don't like them? Can you not see that they're going to be financial disasters? Again, these are the people in control of Sony. These are the people that probably went to business school and shit. How do they not see what we see? But again, let the record show that I've been said this shit. I don't want to hear nobody else saying they said it before me. I said this shit first. I never liked Marathon. Never. Fair Game, same way. I feel like you couldn't even tell them apart. Yes, they're all live service titles, but you couldn't tell them apart on what they were trying to achieve. So, I'm not gonna say good luck, because not every game that launches day and date, when it comes to live service, is gonna do good on PC. And if it doesn't do good on PC, it's not gonna do good on consoles. What they really want is for the game to do better on PC than consoles when we're talking about live service. They believe that PC fans tend to spend more money on live service than we do. So they're in desperate needs for these games to continue to be successful on PC. So these 2 top games right here, Marathon and Fair Games, flop. They don't have anything else. They canceled the Spider-Man multiplayer. They canceled the Last of Us multiplayer. They canceled the God of War multiplayer. They canceled the Twisted Metal multiplayer. They don't give a fuck about Killzone multiplayer. They don't give a fuck about Uncharted multiplayer. They're not bringing back SOCOM. They don't care about Resistance. They don't care about Warhawk or Starhawk. All these great games they could be bringing out, but they either canceled it or they don't care. So when these 2 fucking games flop, and they will flop, I do want to see gameplay for Fair Games, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to be following the footsteps of Concord with its aesthetics and art style and the dislike from the gaming community, especially the ones that are trying to sell it to. They're trying to sell both of these generic ass games to the PC crowd. I can tell you right now, the PC fans are picky, and they are not going to like those games. If they did not like Concord, and we currently have it on good authority that they didn't like the fucking Marathon beta, they're definitely not going to like fucking Fair Games. Yeah. I don't know who's running that department. I don't know how skilled they are at talking to Sony and the presidents and the people running Sony, but they are really good. Like, these guys either have a poker face or they can just swindle anybody, because there's no fucking way that person's going over there pitching these live service titles and saying, oh, this is going to do good. And then they, one after another, flop. One after another are rejected by the gaming community, whether it's the PlayStation community or the PC community. And then they continue to be able to make more live service titles that are going to flop, but then they cancel the ones that are potentially going to be loved, at least by one portion, which will be the PlayStation gaming community. But again, I know I'm talking in circles, but you have to understand, if the PC fans don't like our games, we will never get them. Sony is making these games for PC first and then us. What I mean by that is, if these games are loved for PC, they will be released. They don't care if we like them or not. They believe, this is not factual though, they believe that they will generate so much more money on PC for live service titles that it doesn't matter if we like them or not. When it comes to them making games, yeah, that does matter. When it comes to third parties like Genshin Impact and all those other live service titles, yeah, they're gonna get away with it because they have a good, recipe. If we was the, SOCOM, Resistance, stuff like that, the console side of this initiative they would love it. But the PC fans don't give 2 fucks about those games. That's why they haven't returned, because they know that the PC fans don't care about it. This whole initiative is more about trying to convince the PC fans that, Sony is a good publisher of live service titles. And what Sony is like, well, we got to keep doing new IPs. Yeah. The three right here that are doing good, they're existing IPs. And that's one of the reasons why they're still doing good and they're making money. Every attempt that Sony has had at a live service new IP, it has flopped. Helldivers is not new. It has the number 2 at the end of it. Concord flop. Marathon is currently flopping in the court of public opinion and everybody's excitement for it. It's all fucking downhill. Fair Games, for some reason, Sony is afraid to show more of that. And I don't think they have any more other chances after that. If any of the developers working on anything else, it would be a big surprise to me because, yeah, they like everything has been canceled. Sony has to stop pandering to the PC community when it comes to the multiplayer strategy, or they're going to continue to take L's. Facts for facts. Want to go to our next slide right here. Now, this is one thing I want to say, and also let the record show that I said this first. When it comes to Astrobot, they were talking about how great it did, right? With the awards. They did not mention any sales numbers. If they did, someone in the chat, please correct me with the accurate sales number. But as it stands right now, nobody is contacted, not even Lucci Sky, has contacted me with a new sales number. We do have a new sales number for Ghost of Tsushima, and it's sitting at 13 million copies sold. Now, this is what they're saying about Ghost of Yotai. They say highly anticipated next installment of the major franchise. Now, I agree it is, but I don't think it's going to sell as good as Ghost of Tsushima, and it may not even sell half as good. If they promote the game the way that they originally wanted to. A powerful woman takes on a band of male assassins, and she kills them and beats them up and shows how strong she is. Now, again, this is going to be a story of revenge. It's pretty straightforward. From what I saw from the synopsis is looks like a band of assassins came into her village, killed everybody, including her family, left her for dead. Obviously, she didn't die. She trained and honed her skills and started to hunt down everybody on that list that she's carrying with her in her hands. Straightforward. World's going to be great. Combat's going to be great. Weapon selection's going to be awesome. Sound is going to be dope. Visuals, performance is going to be awesome. The story, it needs to be more convincing than just revenge. We did get revenge from Ellie, but people wanted to play as Joel. Very controversial game. Game still sold 10 million, but it when it comes to the court of public opinion to the gaming community, very, very mixed. I don't think Last of Us Part 2 sold as much as Last of Us the first original one. But that's exactly what you want, though. You want the sequel to outsell the first one, but it just has not yet. When it looks like Ghost of Yotai is doing the same exact thing as Last of Us Part 2, which is swapping the male character for the female character, a lot of people can see similarities to that, and a lot of people would reject it. I feel like if the gameplay is good enough, bloody enough, violent enough, that people are like, fuck it. I'm gonna go support this. It's gonna be dope. I think initially that is what's going to happen. I think that if there's any anti-woke people that are currently obviously on PC that do have consoles, they're probably not going to buy this on consoles. And you're going to miss a sale because of gender swap. I don't know if it's going to be massive. I have not pre-ordered the game yet. I'm waiting to see that dedicated state of play next month. I'm going to be focusing in more on dialogue. I'm going to be focusing in a lot on story. Sony has done this before where portions of the story that they know people may not like, they hold that so close to their vest, they never show it off. and then you end up finding out in the game. There have been other third-party developers that have done such, but then again, once people find out what's in the game, then it's like, well, you fucked us over. You bring your next game out, we're not gonna be there. A lot of people are kind of like, I really wish the Jin was here. I think this game takes place like 200, 300, maybe even 400 years after Ghost of Tsushima. We're going to take a look at that in a little bit, but I want the game to do good. I do. But something doesn't feel right about why they changed Jin to her. You know, their excuse, it just didn't make sense. I feel like they was like, nah, man, this is just like we're in the female season, like it's just, and I hope that's not it. Like I truly do, man. Like trust me, I'm really good at sussing this stuff out, man, and it just don't feel good, right? It just does not feel good. So Death Stranding, I think it's gonna do good. I think it's gonna do really good. They did really good with the gameplay. They're doing really good with showing off the title. Visuals look good. But Ghost of Yotai, that dedicated state of play needs to be anywhere between a straight 10 minutes all the way to 20 minutes long. The gameplay can get people to automatically pick up the game. They don't care if the character may end up being gay, and they withhold that information. You find that out in the fucking game. No one's going to care when you see her chopping people's heads off and you see blood flying. I understand how casual a lot of you guys are, even though you swear to fucking God you're not. If she takes a sword and cuts someone's head off and you see a lot of blood, that's a day one for you guys. It is also a day one for me. But also knowing that this game is going to be a story-driven game, I don't want to be force-fed bullshit when it comes to narrative that I don't want to fucking hear about. That I've already heard about multiple times, whether on the internet or on in any other games. Because if I don't want to fucking hear about it, I'm going to tell you right now, other people don't want to hear about it. And they may not be as nice as me. I may end up still picking up the game just on gameplay principle alone. Other people might be like, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to buy the game. And those individuals may have been the people that picked up Ghost of Tsushima. And that right there is where I'm seeing a major difference when it comes to Sony's sequels. Where their sequels are not always selling better than the previous versions. Whether we can say that about Spider-Man 2, Horizon Forbidden West, The Last of Us Part 2. The list just goes on and on. I want this to be good. I can't wait to see the state of play. It may make me just, go all day one on it. You already know this is pretty much an automatic day one game. We know Sony's good for it when it comes to quality and everything, but like when it comes to them gender swapping, it always comes with social messaging that we all know I'm completely against. I don't support that bullshit. And it's what's hurt a lot of studios. And what has been the downfall of a ton of games last year. Prime example, Concord. Another example, Suicide Squad, all came out last year. Another example, Dragon Age the Veilguard, also came out last year. 3 games, AAA. Social messaging, all flopped. It was a financial stain on every studio these 3 games were attached to. Look, man, when you've seen it happen 3 fucking times and you know the fucking tall tales, I'm not going to stray away and pretend to want to lie to you guys, because that's not my style. Keep an eye out. I want to go to our last segment here. This segment right here, they're talking about world-class creative, a global team with diverse. Oh shit! differentiated and fucking bullshit. I can't fucking even say that. I'm too fucking sleepy for this shit. Yeah, they're talking about all these different ones. So interesting enough, they split them into different categories. So we got Insomniac, we got House Marquee, we got Asobi Studios, we got Naughty Dog, we got Sucker Punch, we got Sony Cinematica, and we have Fire Sprite. They're all in the single player. Then we have live services, San Diego Studios, which makes the baseball game, Haven Studio, which is making Fair Games, Team LFG, which is making that codename Gummy Bears Smash Brothers MOBA type game. We got Bungie, which does the Destiny titles. And again, it starts to get a little bit more interesting. Evolving / multi-genre. Dark Outlaw. Right? I think that's another Call of Duty developer type team. And they're making some shooter. We got Media Molecule. Still haven't saw what the fuck they're working on. Blue Point Studio. They were working on a multiplayer God of War, which got canceled, so we don't know what they're working on now. Guerrilla Games. After Horizon Forbidden West, I don't think we know if they're working on anything, and if they are, it's probably going to be launching on PS6. Sony Bend Studios. They were working on a multiplayer game that looked like it was loosely based in the same vein as Siphon Filter. That was canceled. And then we have Pelofi Digital, which makes Gran Turismo, and I don't think they're going to make anything else but Gran Turismo for the rest of my fucking life. We got Co-Developed Studios, which is, the PC and cell phone stuff. That's Nixus and Valkyrie. And then we have XDev Publishing. We got Arrowhead over there. We got Kojima Studios. And then any and all of their other partners. Pretty straightforward. You see how small the live service section is now? Sony knows they ate dirt. They know they ate dirt. What I find really funny... I'm taking a sip of this energy drink. I need to stay up. Wow. Oh shit, that's good. What I find really funny about this is we were just talking about what's the new game they're coming out with? Is it Marathon? Yeah, Marathon is also by Bungie. So Bungie's going to stay in there because of Marathon, but Bungie's really there for Destiny. There was a lot more studios in their live service orbit, like about 2 years ago. Maybe a little bit more. Now it's just restricted to 4. I mean, San Diego, that makes sense. Bungie, that makes sense. Team LFG, that kind of doesn't make sense because we haven't seen any gameplay for that. Haven also doesn't make sense. So you take both of those two out because they haven't produced shit. And they haven't shown shit. And you really just have San Diego Studios and Bungie. And you could put Pelofi Digital in there because Gran Turismo is a games as a service and has been such for a very long time since sport. So you could have added that in there, but you didn't. So you get rid of Haven because they haven't produced shit. They haven't made any money. And you get rid of fucking Team LFG. They haven't produced shit. They didn't make any money. And you only have 2 fucking studios in the live service. Sony, whether they want to or not, they're moving away from live service just because of how much money they're losing. They're not making any money, and every time they bring out a game, and I'm saying every time because Marathon is going to be a fucking flop, Concord didn't do what they needed. And then all these other great multiplayers got fucking canceled. Spider-Man canceled. Multiplayer version for The Last of Us got canceled. Twisted Metal got canceled. God of War multiplayer by Blue Point Studio got canceled. The multiplayer game by Ben Studio got canceled. Bro, we got more cancellations than new IPs. I've said it from the beginning. I'm tired of them pandering to the PC community just for them to continue to lose money and for us to lose games. Because if they can't sell it to them, we don't get it. It's as simple as that. If they don't think it's good enough for these idiots to spend money on it, then we won't ever see it. That's why I've been against this shit from the very fucking beginning. I've been completely against this PC strategy because, again, if they don't like it, we can't eat it. It's not even gonna get to our fucking table, bro. It's fucked up. This last segment we're gonna talk about, this one, the track record of growing game IPs and the franchises and developing IPs. So right now, their emerging IPs is Astrobot, Helldivers 2, and Ghost. So they want to continue with that. I believe Astrobot's could probably have a part 2 or a spinoff. Maybe Astrobot kart racing. I think that Sony should do another kart racer with Astrobot in a different, like, PlayStation characters, or just do a PlayStation character kart racing game, but also featuring Astrobot and different PlayStation characters. You don't have to make a PlayStation All-Stars. You could just make a PlayStation All-Stars go-kart. Just look at what Mario's, like, how good Mario's doing. But Mario's just based off of one universe. Just imagine if PlayStation did a kart racing game with different PlayStation characters, and then a lot of the tracks were from different PlayStation characters' universe. I think it could do really, really good. Bring me in. I got some fucking ideas that'll make you some money. Helldivers 2, they're making tons of money off of, and I know they're going to make a part 3. It's obvious. I don't know what they're going to do with that engine, though. It's a really good engine, but it's a really old engine. I would go to Unreal Engine, but we know how unstable it is, so that right there is my only worry for, the future of Helldivers. When it comes to Ghost 1 did so good that they automatically made 2, and they're automatically thinking about 3. They're thinking about 3, but they haven't greenlit it. Look, as long as they keep the social messaging bullshit and all that woke crap out of the game, and I'm not talking about the promoting phase. When they promote the game, they're obviously not going to talk about that because they know it's not a good subject. But I hope that it's not in the game to the point that people talk about it when they do play the game, because it could put other potential buyers off from the game. When we go over here, and again, I'm looking at the left side, so if you guys was wondering what I'm reading off, I'm looking at the left. They say new IPs, Marathon, Fair Games, others in development. That's not a lot, bro. And this is, again, I just said it. I think I deserve my flowers for this. I've been saying this for so long. Look at the new IPs we're getting. They're both games as a service, day and date multiplayer titles. Concord was a new IP. Didn't do good on PC. Didn't do good over here. Flop. Close down the studio. Marathon, they're not going to close down Bungie, but they're going to take full control of Bungie once Marathon comes out and flops. And we need that. They need structure. Fair Games. Haven Studio is definitely getting closed down. The CEO already left. It's over. It's over. And I don't think that's going to be a good IP either. They say others in development. I call cap because they have not announced a damn other new IP in development. They have not. Again, we got less games while Sony was flirting around with PC for the last 5 years. And every new IP that we got that wasn't canceled, and that was one of them, that would be Concord, came out and flopped. Then they canceled the fucking, then they closed down the studio. So, yeah. Over here, they talk about the different games from Horizon, Uncharted, The Last of Us, Destiny, Spider-Man, Gran Turismo, MLB The Show, and God of War. So there's a lot of Gran Turismos, obviously. There's a damn good amount of God of Wars. There's a good amount of fucking MLB The Shows that makes sense. Good amount of Destiny, stuff like that. DLC included. Last of Us, bullshit, but it is what it is. Last of Us, and then Last of Us Remastered, then Last of Us Part 1, then Last of Us Part 2. That's it. They just need to stop with the remastering of it, but yeah. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That makes sense. Horizon Call of the Mountain, Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon Lego. That makes sense. They don't got Ghost up here, but again, that's an emerging IP, and the sequel is about to just come out. Helldivers, again, the sequel is out. Astrobot, I guess it is emerging because the VR game, whether it counts or not, they may not count it because it wasn't like controller only. It was like, for VR. I think they can do good. I do like the emerging IPs, at least with Astrobot. Like I said, they can do some Mario Kart type thing going on. Not just a shameless Astrobot kart game, but they can make a kart game, PlayStation kart game, where there's other characters there too. Like, they look just like how they're supposed to look, not Astrobot. And I think they can get a big W on that. I don't know if they're going to do it. I mean, Sony is so scared of making something that is not completely pandering to PC that they've lost their creative fucking edge, in my personal opinion. And if I'm wrong, well, I got a lot of proof to prove that I'm not wrong. They need to stay away from PC. Going forward, they just need to stop. Go back to your roots. Do what you do best. And yeah. So I'm done with this segment. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Get this paper back up. Okay, let me give a quick shout out. Won't be timestamped, but Truity, get your ass in the chat. I'm about to hop in the chat. Get your ass in the chat. You're always late. Call you fucking late, man. You do a lot of late stuff. Call this dude the L collectors because he's always late. Collecting all those late slips. Who we got in the chat? We got True Witty. Obviously, he's a PSLOG member and a member of the channel. He's a mod as well. Gregory's a mod. Ice Queen is a member of the channel, member of the PlayStation Legion as well, and a mod. We also have King Dunce back with us. He has no status. We got Muhammad back with us. No status as of yet. Godlord Hungry is also with us. He's a mod. We got Lucci Sky. He's in the chat. He's a mod. Phil Bosch is with us. He was here earlier. He's a mod. Anonymous Boss is here. No status. Mass Produce is here. He's a mod. Honda, the Power of Dreams. What's going on? You don't got no status either. Cooper Clips is in the building. He's here earlier. He's also a mod. And then I think the first person here was Mike Johnson. He's a mod as well as a PlayStation Legion member. He's leveling up, as you can see by his sticker. Alexander Glifton was also here. He's a mod. I don't know if you guys are still here. Shout yourself out if you're still here in the chat. And let's talk about it. So, do you think I'm being a little harsh on the PC community? Do you... That's a really good movie. Because do you believe that the PC community has held PlayStation back from giving the PlayStation console gamers better games. Because remember, though, the games that we did want, they have been canceled. Now, we did get games, don't get me wrong. We just didn't get as many, especially compared to PS4 and even PS3. And now, if a game doesn't look like it's going to be successful on PC, they cancel it. And now they're desperate enough to not cancel the games that we can obviously are going to be flops, and then they're going to lose a lot of money on that, and then that'll set back other plans, and then they'll have to cancel those plans so that they don't lose too much money. So again, I think I've been right 5 years ago. Ultimately, fucking around with PC is leading to Sony's financial downfall in the creative section, where they can't bring out different types of IPs because the people on PC don't like them. You can't sell it to them. So in turn, if you can't sell it to them, and the whole strategy is day and date for multiplayer, then you're not gonna give it to us either. Because they don't want to make exclusive multiplayer experiences for PlayStation gamers anymore without also including the PC fans. You want to double dip, but day one. Lorenzo Carlson's in the chat. He's a mod, lurking. Call him Lurking Man. Gregory, so I'm not really hyped for what is in July unless it's a deep dive. So Gregory, I can tell you what they told me, but you know me, I'm not somebody that likes to tell you shit. I'm somebody that likes to show you shit. So let's go take a look at that real quick together. So, let's go take a look at what this says. It says Ghost of Yotai State of Play coming July 25th. Get ready for Sucker Punch to guide you through the extended look at the new open world adventure. The show will be focused entirely on Ghost of Yotai, coming to PS5 October 2nd. You'll get a extended look at new and evolved gameplay mechanics, including exploration, combat, and much more. So, again, it's going to be showing the gameplay shit. It's going to get you hyped about it on the gameplay side. I need to know more about the story. I want to know how she sounds. I want to make sure that shit's not woke in any way. I'm very confident that it will be woke in many ways, and that information could be hidden from us. It'd be best for them to be forthcoming with that information, or just cut it out the game entirely. It's really up to them. I don't think they can count on another L. I don't think they can survive another L, not from single player. And they've taken multiple L's when it came from the games as a service, but the single player is their bread and butter, especially until Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out next year. So they got to make sure they do better. So it is going to be a deep dive. It is confirmed as a deep dive. It is fully focused on Ghost of Yotai. So if anybody didn't know, now you know. This information was given to us. I mean, you got to cover the obvious because people going to answer crazy questions. They're going to ask crazy questions. So yes, it is a deep dive.
It was said in the
a lot of people didn't watch it. That's why I got to cover it again.
In the play?
Yeah. Somebody in the chat asked, I don't know if he said something about he doesn't know if he's going to be excited because he doesn't think it's a deep dive, but they confirmed that it is a deep dive and it is only focused on Ghost of Yotai. It is a Ghost of Yotai focused state of play for July. So I'm here to reaffirm you. Other than that, I don't really care. You can watch it or not watch it. We're going to cover it. And we'll break it down. But yeah, it is a deep dive next month. There you go. If you don't know, please spread this information around. I'm tired of PlayStation gamers not knowing when all this information is just right there at your fingertips. But there are so many of you guys running around not knowing just simple shit. They announced it during the recent State of Play that they're going to have a State of Play in July. It is also on their official YouTube channel. It's on their PlayStation blog. It was only posted 11 days ago, and the video has 385,000 views just for the announcement of the State of Play. So a lot of people should know, but a lot of people, as we can see, don't know. I want you guys to know. So please, you see other PlayStation gamers that do not know about this information, make sure that they know it's a deep dive and it's only focused on Ghost of Yotai so that they can see what they need to see to make their minds up if they're going to support the game or not. I'm not going to blindly support any studio that's going to put social messaging in their games, because I told you guys multiple times I'm against it, and I'm against it because I know how damaging it is to their game, and I know how so many gamers will reject that. They will lose money on it because gamers will say, hey, I don't agree with those things that you're putting in the game, and I will not buy it. A lot of gamers were very upset at what Insomniac Games had put in Spider-Man 2. Yeah, the combat was great. Yes, the visuals were great. Yes, the performance and ray tracing was great. But the story and the different types of things they were adding in that story, no. I'll take the story over part 1 compared to part 2 any day. And that's even with the addition of Kraven the Hunter and Venom, which I think were really good. They were really good villains. But when it came down to the meat and potatoes of the story, when it came to what they really wanted to talk about with, what was his name, Miles. I think Miles wasn't that bad, but obviously Mary Jane and fucking Peter. I didn't like what they did with that. Like, Peter's one to retire at the end of part 2, so Miles can be the main Spider-Man. But then they didn't really want him to retire because who's gonna buy Spider-Man 3 if Peter Parker's Spider-Man is not also on the box cover? It's just. They just, I mean, it's the blueprint is right there. It's a comic book video game. Just follow the fucking comic book and you will never fail. But when they deviate from what they already know we want, that's when they fuck up. They know what we wanted with Ghost of Yotai. We wanted a continuation of Ghost of Tsushima. They went completely opposite. And there are tons of people that are mad enough about it to not buy the game. Giving them another reason, like adding social messaging into the game, would definitely hurt their chances of selling this game. Having really good violence, including cutting people's heads off and seeing shitloads of blood, that will get a lot of casual gamers back on the bandwagon to buy this game. But once the game comes out, if it is true that they've snuck social messaging into the game that will be looked at as woke, it will hurt the trust value, not from you. If you're listening to me and you're about to tell me in the chat, it doesn't bother you, you're a minority. We're talking about the majority of people. The people that make the decisions with their wallet. The people that Sony's always trying to appease. Those individuals, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to keep those guys happy because they spend more money than all of us. Although they're always buying Call of Duty, Madden, and basketball every year. But if you can get those individuals to buy like a Ghost of Yotai or Wolverine, oh yeah, that's good shit. That's the majority right there. The people that's always playing Fortnite, get these guys to buy something, a PlayStation first party title. That's the majority right there. That's what you want. So I don't want to see them fuck up, but I can't help but believe they didn't learn their lesson. Because game development, game development takes anywhere between 4 years or more. So if they added something in the game like 5 years ago, and they've been working on the game for like 5 or 6 years, or maybe 4 years.
That might not be easy to take out.
Yeah, it might not be easy to take out. It might stay in there, and then it's gonna be outdated. Like all the Grand Theft Autos are outdated on purpose, but this one is not supposed to be outdated. Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to be as modern as we can get, but still it is outdated. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be outdated by a couple years.
Oh,
you
yes.
know, but it is still as modern as they've ever gotten.
All the Grand Theft Autos have always been outdated.
Yes, but purposely.
Yeah, I know.
Like this one's set in the 90s. This one's set in the 80s. This, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and then what was 4 was set in like super early 2000s. Yeah, that was also supposed to be like modern time, but then they're like, nah, we can't really do that. This one though, 6, 5, 2. I think 5. I think they did really good, trying their best to like keep it as modern as possible for that exact time. I think they did really, really good, especially with the cell phone feature. Although I know Saints Row did it first, but I think it was really well done on Grand Theft. Grand Theft Auto 6, much more. All I'm saying is that, when they make these games, they made these games like years ago. No, they didn't finish them years ago, but they started making them years ago. So what they think and their beliefs, political or otherwise, they install into these games. Well, if it is the backbone of the story, then they're not going to take it out. And then they release it in modern times where people are not cool with that shit. And there you go. That's why you have the reversal in the gaming community. We're like, hey, we don't fuck with that shit no more. Versus 4 years ago, yeah, it's all right. I don't really care. They're not doing a lot of it. But now it's like, man, y'all doing too much. I don't like that. I'm not going to buy your game. They got to read the room. And I think they're cocky enough to not read the room. They're like, nah. You guys like Ghost of Tsushima. We're going to show you the main character chopping off some heads and showing a lot of blood. You guys going to buy the game. And you're not even going to give a fuck if we got all these messages in the game, because you're not going to know until you buy the game. I don't want that. I don't want that to be the case. But
listen, if that's the way they're thinking, their next future games are gonna suffer. I'm just being honest, because people are gonna remember that.
They did the same. What game they tried to do the same thing with? Last was Part 2.
Okay. Oh yeah.
If we didn't get the leak about Joel, we wouldn't have known. That's how, and we still didn't know how much they, put messaging in the game. I don't think it was as heavy as they wanted to, and it was bearable enough to play through the game. But the last portions of the game was just very cringeworthy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they lost a lot of brownie points with the gaming community on Last of Us Part 2. Like, that is why so many people are completely against Intergalactic. I don't want to see Sony continue to fuck up when it is so obvious that you don't have to fuck up.
I've said this before. After Amy Hennig left, Naughty Dog has been weaker.
Yeah, exactly. Abby carried it. Ellie, with all that bullshit, emotion, all that dumbass shit, that was, bro, that was dumb. That didn't even need to be in a game, bro. They could have made the game a lot shorter if they didn't add all that bullshit on Ellie's side.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't learn their lesson now, I mean, now you're going to have your first party single player games not selling as much. And when these games don't sell enough, you don't have enough money for the next project. And again, if the live service titles don't sell the way you want, which they're not, then you're not going to have enough money for another live service game or another new IP single player game if we get one. And this is why Sony has really had to rely heavily on third party going forward because they've lost so much money when it comes to their games. Spider-Man 2 didn't sell as much as Spider-Man 1. And it's starting to slow down. It has long legs, but it's still starting to slow down. Horizon Forbidden West did not sell as much as Horizon
The
Zero
problem,
Dawn.
the problem is they put way too much faith. They put way too much faith in what you call it. They put way too much faith in the what you call it. What's the PC community? And that's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. They believe that they will, save them on this first part. What is it? The first. What is it? I'm starting to fall asleep. Let me have another swig of this potion. Live service. Yeah, their live service. Like the PC fans could care less about Sony's live service. As you can see, they purposely don't
No,
like
they
Sony.
could care less about Sony's games. Forget live service. They do not care about their games.
Yeah. Unless they're partnered, like Stellar Blade, because Sony would never make a game like that. They would help with a game like that, but they would never make a game like that. We've seen the games that Sony's made. We haven't had an attractive female character in a Sony first party title in a very, very long time. And I'm talking about like naturally attractive character with alternate outfits that are very attractive for males to look at.
No.
We have not got one of those in a very, very long time.
What was the last time? I don't freaking know.
I don't know. Probably have to be somewhere around PS3, PS2.
Damn.
Yeah, it'd have to be a while. Like even Kratos, remember the God of War? He always used to have the little sex mini games on all 3 games.
Yeah, that got taken out.
That completely got taken out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, and again, when you start to add all of this stuff up, like if we see it, and again, we've been keeping track of this for some time now, and we're finally seeing that what we said is actually true. We already knew it was true, but you guys can now see it's true. We're getting less games the more they fuck around with PC. And the more they fuck around with PC, the more money they lose. And the more money they lose, the less games we get. It's the circle of life right now. For some weird reason, Sony can't break that cycle. They don't want to stop fucking around with PC. The only real good news from the financial side of their report is that they are going to be backing away from PC. They are not going forward with day and date. They are not even trying to do anything close to day and date. They were not able to give any financial details on PC. They did not want to give any details on PC on how good it was doing with the PC ports because it's just not selling good. Now, I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, investors are asking, hey, why didn't you give us these details of what's going on over there? They probably gave that information to the investors behind the scene. I'm only assuming. And then investors and them agreed that maybe they should back away from the PC shit for now. So, I mean, that is what happened. I'm gonna play one of the most valuable reels, sound bites. And big shout out to True Way for stopping by. You already know the sound bite I'm about to play for Witcher. But I will say one thing, man. I want Sony to do good. I really do. But the more they fuck around with PC, the more they're going to lose themselves. And the more they lose themselves, the harder it is to bounce back. It's as simple as that. There are fans that don't want them to repeat what Xbox is doing. And it's like they just can't fucking help themselves. Yeah, I mean, if you love Ghost, right, you need to have played the main game, finish all that, finish all the side quests, go and play that DLC, Icky Island. It's really well done. Beat that shit.
The problem is I see what goes right now. I don't think Jin's story is complete.
It isn't. That's why a lot of people were upset with Ghost of Yotai. It isn't.
Well,
There's two things that can happen here. Ghost of Yotai is successful and they continue with her story. Ghost of Yotai is not successful and they go back to fucking Jin's story. Those are two paths that happen. Again, I can't be wrong if they gave the actress that is LGBT and very woke, they gave her a gag order. Sony Interactive Entertainment gave her a gag order to the point she cannot say shit to us. She cannot talk about how proud she is. She has been silenced.
The nigga said,
Since people discovered who she was, they silenced her because they know how damaging her existence in the game can be to the game. Now, if Sony knows that, then I can't be fucking wrong. They know that the anti-woke movement is an automatic death sentence for their fucking game. We've seen it in 3 fucking games in 1 year last year. 3 games in 1 year all died because they were woke. Suicide Squad, Concord, Dragon Age the Veilguard, all 3 released in 2024, all flopped. They were woke as shit, they all flopped. Sony is not stupid. They saw that shit. And they know that's one of the major reasons that could hurt a fucking game in this day and age.
That's the main reason that the game will get hurt.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, Sony knows, man. Sony knows. They know what's up. They got an ear to the ground. They backed away from PC. I think that I commend them on that. They're not seeing major growth on PC at all. Like, every now and then there'll be like something that the PC fans like Helldivers or Stellar Blade. But at the end of the day, because Sony doesn't completely own those studios, they're not getting complete profits. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting all that fucking money. You know, you publish the game or you own the IP, yeah, you're getting that. But you know, all the games that really do good on PC so far, Stellar Blade, Helldivers, you don't own the studio.
I think they should buy shipped up, knowing but I know that's not possible, but
I think it's possible. I just think that maybe Tencent already got their eyes on them, or Tencent already put money on them. But I gotta go see who.
Tencent has. I don't know if Sony can put enough in them to own it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Tencent's smarter than Sony. Well, they're smarter than Sony and they're faster than Sony. It's like Sony fucks around and waits around for I don't know. God forgive me. Just God forgive me. For Jesus to come at this point. Like that's how long they be waiting to fucking act on things, man. I've been wanted Sony to pick up. What was it? House Marquee, Arrowhead Studios, Ember Labs. I've been saying that for multiple years. Now, again, we need to talk about this. Arrowhead Studios, the maker of Helldivers 1 and 2, Tencent invested over $800 million in them to own 18% of the company. And bro, I'm looking at Sony like, bro, you paid for Firewalk, which produced Concord, a flop. You paid for Haven, and you're not proud enough to even show us fucking Fair Games because you already know how that's gonna be rejected. It's like, bro, why do you buy two studios that produce fucking L's? Who allowed that to go down? I already know. Jim Ryan, Herman. They were in charge when these deals were made. They were in charge when these acquisitions went through. And they were in charge, I know this because they took credit for those acquisitions. Specifically, Herman. He personally took responsibility for Haven Studio and Firewalk. Now, it wasn't bad responsibility. He was like, oh, yeah, we made this deal and we went over there and we liked what they were doing and we didn't see what they were doing. From Concord to Fair Games, Concord released, we did not like what they're doing. I think that they have a lot of yellow tape around Fair Games because I think they know that what we didn't like about Concord is clearly in Fair Games and that we're not going to like that. And they can see that what's in Marathon is similar to what was in Concord, and they already see that we're rejecting Marathon. They will be 3 for 3 with live service new IPs that they bring out, which means the only new IPs that we've gotten in the last 5 years have been PC day and date multiplayer live service titles, and they've all flopped. And again, I told you so just doesn't fucking seem to do it for me anymore.
Have you seen that meme from Will Smith when it says,
I got it. Yeah, that's the one I told you. I put it. Yeah, I got that. It just doesn't do it for me because, I love you guys in the chat, but for years, people been like, no, don't go after Jim. Calm down. Don't go after Herman. I'm right, bro. I'm so right. I got years of fucking evidence. I have multiple fucking examples that we've received less on the console gaming side. Because they fuck with PC. They're so desperate for their love, bro. Exactly, Lorenzo Carlson. You get it. You understand it. He said the acquisitions will be more PC or live service based. Exactly. That's what has been happening already. And they've lost a lot of money because of it.
Look at Bungie. They lost the most on Bungie.
Me and True Woody already knew. First of me, I've been told y'all, bro. Like I said, I can go back. I can literally go to YouTube and put JayTechTV PC port begging. They will show you archives from not 13 years ago, but like 10 years ago, where I tried to warn you guys about the dangers of fucking around with PCs. And again, big shout out to Jabari. Big shout out to the Persona. I love you guys, but I needed your help. Your influence. I could have really used your help to warn other individuals to stop supporting the PC initiative, which so many of you guys supported to the point that Sony thought. Yeah, they supported them. I know they don't have a problem. That's why we're in this fucking problem. I needed their help to go against it. They saw nothing wrong with it. And now, after all these years, they're like, damn, man, it's bad. It's not, they should stop it. Like, bro, what the fuck do you think I was warning you about? JayTechTV PC port begging.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, I know. We focused today. You know that. I don't got a lot of time. We are focused. I just want to dead ass serious. Nope. Yeah, I'm tired. I have no fucking sleep. We are focused. Okay? Again, here we go right here. 8 years ago. Now again, that's before they actually started putting games on PC. where I had charted in E3 2017, I said PC port begging trolls rant. This was a rant video I had made about me capturing their grassroots port begging campaign to trick Sony into putting games on PC, which would lead us to the point of where we're at right now, where Sony is conflicted about where they need to go and they are losing money. And I tried to warn you guys, whether it was PC Master Race begging for Red Dead Redemption 2, which again they did the grassroots strategy on Rockstar to try to convince Rockstar that putting games on PC is going to do really well until they released it over there and they saw it didn't do good, and that's why they're completely ignoring them when it comes to Grand Theft Auto 6. Or the multiple fucking debates that I had when Sony were itching to do the strategy, and I was debating different PC fans on the behalf of the PlayStation gaming community. Or the multiple times where PC fans knew, as you can see right here, Rags 9 years ago, they knew that I knew what the fuck they were doing. And they tried to shut me up. I needed help. Again, I got nothing but love for the gamers in our community, whether it's Jabari or Persona, but I needed people like them to wake the fuck up years ago and understand what I was seeing is what is actually happening. I have much more experience in this bullshit than anybody else. And I'm tired of being afraid to let you guys know it. I've been right on so many occasions with this. I needed them, man. I desperately needed their help. I needed their help to spread the awareness. And they were nowhere. They were like, nah, this is good, bro. We gonna make money. Sony gonna make so much money from PC fans. We gonna get new IPs. Now we got new IPs. And they're ass. We got more cancellations than new IPs. You guys understand that? Concord doesn't exist anymore. They closed down the studio and fucking closed down the fucking game. That was an L. Sony brought that studio. The game flopped so much they fucking trashed the studio. Closed them down.
I remember.
I love you guys in the chat. But it's alright to take responsibility for you guys not being on the right side of this. It's alright that you guys are wrong. No one's perfect. And nobody's always right. And I'm not always right. But when it came to this bullshit, look at this. It goes back 8 years I tried to tell you. 8 fucking years! At this point, if we want to see any sort of change from Sony, we would end up waiting to see it in, the PS6. But not much is going to change now. We're going to get Wolverine. We're going to get Intergalactic. Grand Theft Auto 6 is a big, crossover promotion with Sony. We're going to get to, what's that game? Witcher 4. We're going to get to that soundbite soon. But for so many years, I saw them doing this strategy. And I've talked about it multiple times if you watch my live stream, but if you haven't, I'll go over it. Their strategy was to get online and pretend to be PlayStation gamers and port beg for these games to go to PlayStation, pretending to be you and like talking to different developers and saying that this is good and we want this. I don't think I've ever seen a real PlayStation gamer say, I want to lose games. Or I want PlayStation to be more like Xbox. Like, if you see anybody like that, similar to the movie Sinners, if you haven't seen it, that's not a real PlayStation person. That person is not real. That is a fake. That is a fake. I saw them do it. And then I saw a lot of them not even dress up like fake PlayStation gamers. They were just PC fans. They were like, well, if you put your game over here, you're going to get a lot of support. We love you. We want to buy your game. And they did it. Yeah, they did it. They fell for the fucking trap. And game after game, PlayStation port after PlayStation port, flopped over and over and over and over and over and over again. There's tons of videos, whether they're from me, as you can see, these live streams, or there's people attacking me from the PC camp because they knew that I saw what they were doing and I was trying my best. God knows I was trying my best to warn so many of the PlayStation fans, hey bro, don't be along with that shit. It's not going to end well. Again, we're 5+ years into this bullshit, and it does look like I was 100% right. Now, Sony came to their senses, again, in the newest financial, to confirm that they are not going to go day and date, and that they're going to focus more on consoles going forward. Because, again, trying to figure out what PC fans want or don't want is a fucking headache. And it is a financial gamble that Sony no longer wants to play after 5 years. After 5 years of losing on PC, they're not going to play. They put over fucking close to 20 fucking first-party single-player games on PC via PlayStation ports, and it's just not doing good for them. Again, Helldivers 2, anomaly. Stellar Blade, let's be honest, we know why that fucking game is doing good on PC. Now, outside of those two games, everything else is flopped. And there's been a lot of games they put on PC that have flopped. Life's too short for you guys to be sheep and go along with other people that you look to as leaders in our gaming community. If something doesn't seem right, if something's not feeling right to you, you need to speak the fuck up. Because your silence can change the entire course of PlayStation's trajectory, as you can see what happened over the last 5 years. There were way more people that told... Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry, man. I'm addicted to Game Pass. And allergic to them, too. But there was a lot of people that told Sony, from the real PlayStation gamers, that if you do this, you're going to make a lot of money and we're going to get more IPs. In a way, it's true. Right? But it didn't do that. So that wasn't true. Yeah, if you put your games on more platforms, you essentially are supposed to make more money because it's on an additional platform. But what if the platform that claimed that they wanted your games really didn't want your games? They just wanted to have a conversation with the PlayStation gamers because PC gamers are bored. And that's the whole reason why they started to sneak into the console war, is that they were bored and they were pretty upset that they constantly kept getting ignored. And every time there was like an E3 event, they had to huddle around the TV and look at our game trailers, which was more exciting than the PC game showcase that I covered and fell asleep on multiple times. So of course they want what we have. Of course. Talking
They
to
were
town.
mad too. They was mad too because they couldn't get into our games at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So of course they didn't. They wanted what we had. So they devised a strategy that we can, maybe if we use our numbers and we go online and try to sow these seeds in the ears and hearts and minds of the Sony executives and make them believe that we're friendly and that we're going to support them and we're going to buy their games. And they were very successful with their strategy. I will say that. I will never lie and ever say that the PC port begging strategy was not successful. It was very successful. You can clip this. You can clip this right now. The PC port begging strategy was successful. It's probably one of the most successful console war strategies I've ever fucking seen. And I've seen some diabolical strategies from the Xbox fanboys. But the PC fans, they take the biggest fucking win.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because they work together.
Yes, they work together. And they're very sneaky.
If the PlayStation community does not work together, say no. All right. We are very disjointed, and that's the problem. Everyone goes their way. Everyone's like, oh no, it's fine, it's fine. Some people say like me and you will say no, this is not a good idea. Everyone else will be like, oh no, it's fine. PC will do well for Sony. I'm like, bro, that's and then you and me look at what we have. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
I see what you guys are saying in the chat, but and when we're looking at Stellar Blade, I'm gonna be 100% honest. A lot of the high level content creators already own a PS5 and they already play Stellar Blade. If you're like a high level content creator to have a PS5 and refuse to play Stellar Blade on PS5, I don't understand why. I do think I need to publish a JTech Plays. I want to see if I can record one possibly tomorrow after work for Stellar Blade and play that in the quality mode, the one that gets to like 80 frames, and see if I can really capture that 80 frames. The reason why is because some PC fans are saying it plays better on PC than on consoles. Yes, if you're a part of the elite PC gaming community, but we know your secret now that most of you guys are not a part of that. So a lot of people are just taking credit for other PC fans' builds. But when you ask them what their builds are,
which is sad. Which is sad.
It is very sad. When you ask them for what their builds are, we end up getting shitty ass builds that can't even hold a candle to a fucking Switch 2. Some of these motherfuckers, and I've witnessed this, they don't even own a PC. They own a Steam Deck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most of them have laptops too.
Yeah, a lot
Weak
of
laptops.
I don't know about that, but a lot of them got weaker PC builds. I've discovered that a couple of them, they opted for Steam Decks over the last couple of years and thinking that they were going to get a better experience and finding out the hard way they're not. While we're talking about PC and obviously me not liking the fanboys and the disgusting campaign that they launched, which was the PC port begging campaign, which was again a big W on their part. It worked.
Absolutely worked.
Yeah, forcibly begging Sony and their developers to put PlayStation first party single player games on PC under the guise that these games would do good if you bring them over, and all of them flopped. All of Sony's first party single player games from Sony first party studios flopped. Stellar Blade does not count because it is not a Sony first party studio. Death Stranding does not count because Kojima Productions is not a Sony first party studio. We're talking about God of War. We're talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about Horizon. These games flopped financially in comparison to whatever PlayStation 4 version or PlayStation 5 version had accumulated. They flopped over there. And they were not met with the same love or care. This right here, though, is why I am 100% right. This right here, what you're about to hear, is why True Witty is 100% right. Because what you're going to hear in this soundbite is, and we got an hour and 28 minutes left, but what you're going to hear in this soundbite is something that the PC fans, bro, these motherfuckers almost had a heart attack listening to this. But I just want y'all to, I want y'all to listen to this. You have to listen to this. You want some ammunition against the PC fans based on what I've told you about the PC port begging strategy, which again, you can clip this, was a big W on their part. I want to shake some of their hands because they did such a good job. They convinced Sony to put their games on PC, making Sony believe that these games would sell real well. And they also convinced real PlayStation gamers that would be the case. And 5 years later, we found out that was bullshit. But listen to this, and listen to what this third-party developer tells Alex Bugaga from Digital Foundry, which tried to capture a third-party developer. Tried to capture this third-party developer saying that they would not support PlayStation. And listen what the third-party developer said. Keep in mind, the third-party developer is CD Projekt Red, the developer behind Witcher 3, the developer behind Cyberpunk 2077. You have to listen. I see that there's 51 of you guys here. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you for being here. While you're listening, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, You already know what to do.
60 FPS target. So why show it off on PS5 first? Why target 60 FPS?
I think that when we started the collaboration, we had we have super high ambition for this project, and we always, as you said, we always do PC and we push and then we try to scale down. But then we had so many problems in the past that we tried to see, okay, this time around we really want to be more console first development, right? So and then we worked with Unreal with our partner, and then we saw the challenge to realize the ambition that to make what we want as 60 FPS on PS5 would be, there would be work. And this is why we started to talk to figure out what needs to be done with the technology. And we also decided, okay, we need to have all those things that needs to be developed. Where we go from there, it's hard to say, but right now we really wanted to focus on what does it mean to make this ambition on a console. And we have all our other projects at 60 FPS, and we really wanted to also to aim for 60 FPS once again, not go back to 30 FPS or something like that.
Yeah, and it was a mutually shared ambition together with Epic, right? So when we started talking about it, that was I think that was literally like the first pillar we established together, that this is gonna be a console 60 FPS
no
demo.
fake console 60 FPS, fit in memory,
Constrained by platform, pretty much.
Yeah.
So scaling up, but scaling down. We have an Xbox Series S out there, if you've ever heard of it. And you guys did scale, I'd say, rather gracefully in CP2077 onto the Xbox Series S. Where do you take a demo like this and get it running on something with less memory and far less GPU resources?
Well, I wish we did a lot of work already on that, but we did not. So this is something that is next on our radar for sure. I will be, well, again, maybe, but I will say that 60 FPS will definitely be extremely challenging on the Series S. Let's just say that this is something that we need to figure out.
So you heard it here.
Thing he's ever said. That's the funniest thing he's ever said.
They said PlayStation is the lead platform for Witcher 4. Now, doesn't that sound like what we heard 2 weeks ago from Maximum Dude? Now, listen to what Maximum Dude said 2 weeks ago.
Not allegiant to the PC version of games either, because you know what? PC games also fucking suck. Let's be completely honest here, dude. All the games that we know, love, and play, the majority of them that are not like indie games, are made on PlayStation 5s. Almost everything in this industry is made on a PS5 and designed for specifically PS5 hardware. So when that shit gets put over to PC, much less to Xbox or other consoles, there's a lot of issues that come as a result of that, dude. Like most games now, it's a toss-up if this shit is going to run good. FF7 Remake, a wonderful example.
So, we heard that from Maximum Dude 2 weeks ago, right?
60 FPS. As you said, we always do PC and we push and then we try to scale down. But then we had so many problems in the past that we tried to see, okay, this time around we really want to be more console first development, right? So and then we worked with Unreal with our partner, and then we saw the challenge to realize the ambition that to make what we want as 60 FPS on PS5 would be, there would be work. And this is why we started to talk to figure out what needs to be done with the technology. And we also decided, okay, we need to have all those things that needs to be developed. Where we go from there, it's hard to say, but right now we really wanted to focus on what does it mean to make this ambition on a console. And we have all our other projects at 60 FPS, and we really wanted to also to aim for 60 FPS once again, not go back.
Hold on, my brother's calling me.
Well, can't say we didn't say anything. Can't say we didn't say anything.
Hey, hey, True Woody.
What's up?
What's up, bro? Jay, you there?
There's more likely going to be freaking.
Mm.
This more like we're going to be tired by the end of this. We're probably going to end up doing the timestamps and then knock out.
Uh, yo, do you play Fantasy Star online too?
What?
Do you play Fantasy Star online?
I haven't even started it, but I don't have a problem with it. I haven't started it.
Uh,
I got too much shit to get to. Honestly, that's why.
oh yeah, I got a whole lot in my backlog too.
Yep. I'm trying to. I let too many shit pile up. I let too much shit pile up, and that's my problem.
Mhm. I got animes in my backlog along with it, like leveling.
We still need to set up that fucking Tekken tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back for right now. Sorry, my brother
Yo,
called. James called. He's
you could.
talking to me literally about what I was just talking about. It's like he read my fucking mind, bro. He was talking about me about PlayStation fans supporting these new games that we're getting, like Final Fantasy Taxes.
Bro,
Trying to tell him that first of all, they're not gonna support these games, and second of all, it doesn't matter because it's Square Enix, and Square Enix doesn't have the relationship
hey,
with Sony that they used to.
it's
So
almost like your brother. It's almost like your brother reads your fucking mind.
yeah, I mean,
That's
because
crazy. Like,
we have the same mindset. Like we know that if these games are not supported, we're not gonna get some of these types of games. But then again, the only reason why Square Enix put out Final Fantasy Tactics is after 20 years of people begging for it, they didn't have anything else to make. So they make it. What they do is they try to make these small. They put these small games out in between their big games in order to try to make some money. And then they like what they're doing. They're trying to do Sony's strategy, which is a double dip, where they like re-release like Final Fantasy 7 on the other platforms, Final Fantasy 16 on other platforms, in order to try to get that money back. They're gonna find out the hard way. Putting that shit on Xbox, putting that shit on PC, putting that shit on Nintendo is not even anywhere close to how it sold by itself on PlayStation over the last 3-4 years. But PlayStation gamers, if you love exclusives, you better support them. You compromise where you can, and you speak with your wallet where you can and where you're supposed to. You see a game that's gone to Game Pass and it comes over here a day and date, I'm not telling you not to pick it up. But if you don't pick it up, it sends a message to the developers saying like, well, if we keep doing this, they don't like that. We now have a financial pattern that shows that every time we put a game on Game Pass and comes to the PlayStation, they don't buy it as much as if they put the game out and they don't put it on Game Pass. Developers see that financial pattern because they've done this shit a couple times now. So, hey, it is what it is. Just going back to it, a lot of developers have decided just to go all in on PS5 because, again, that's where the money is. It's easier to develop for. You don't have all these different crazy-ass graphics cards and multiple PC fans that are stuck in the past. It just is what it is. And
if I was a developer, go ahead, man.
Yeah, and when you even if you were to consider Xbox, doesn't matter. First of all, they don't buy games, and second of all, they're on their way out. So I'm hoping that a lot of developers understand it would be a waste of their fucking time and resources to continue to put out Xbox ports, even if they're only digital. It just is absolutely no point. Even if they buy the fucking game, the chances that they finish their game is lower than the completion rate on PlayStation.
It doesn't matter. Here's the thing, though, Jay. It doesn't matter if they don't finish the game. They just need to buy it. That's it. Because finishing the game does not. Look how many games they finished on Game Pass. They finished games on Game Pass. Some of them finished games on Game Pass, but it doesn't equal money for these developers. You know what I'm saying? All that matters is if these niggas buy the game. And that's about that should matter at the end of the day. But some of these niggas just don't buy games. They don't want to buy the game.
Yeah, totally, man. They definitely don't. Like it makes no sense of them keep supporting Xbox and giving them ports.
It's because if they don't support Xbox, then they have to support PC. And Nintendo's too weak.
And that Switch is hard. That Switch too is going to be a problem for them because they had to downgrade their games.
The good thing, Brian, is that I can see that, yeah, a lot of developers have clearly ignored Switch. That may be because they don't have dev kits, but that also may be because it's just no point. Again, this holiday. 1 second.
Oh.
And the problem with Nintendo's always at least 1 or 2 generations behind. They're practically in the PS4 generation. We're about to get into the PlayStation 6. They're going to be 2 generations behind again.
Don't get me wrong, Nintendo do got some fun games, but
Nintendo got great games. The problem with Nintendo is that Nintendo stuff always weaker than everybody else. They never want to push. They never want to push forward too far.
Because
they feel that then they'll be competing against PlayStation, and that's like even if you are on the level of power with PlayStation, you're still not competing with PlayStation because you don't make the same games. You don't make the same games, so go ahead.
Go ahead, man. All I'm about to say is, like, even the PS4 is kind of beating the Switch too.
The PS4 is still beating the Switch too.
And let alone the PS5, the base PS5 itself. But as again, the Switch 2 ain't nothing but a side console. PlayStation 6 is gonna be the primary console.
Nintendo's never been a primary console in any generation.
Mm-mm. I just look at them as
Well,
a Happy Meal toy. Happy Meal.
new toy.
I'm
Hey,
serious, man. The way
hey, no,
Nintendo.
but that's very accurate though. Who gets who wants Happy Meal toys more than anybody? Kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just being me, man. I'm just being real. Like that's why I look at them as like they
Yeah,
sell you these
but
amiibos. They sell you these amiibos, and you can get them from McDonald's. If they ever put them in McDonald's, it makes sense. You get them as a Happy Meal toy. That's how
oh
I feel
yeah,
about Switch too. I mean, they got some fun ass Mario games, but other than that, you know, they weak. The graphics are weak.
the problem is I like Nintendo, but Nintendo's stuck in
Yeah.
a deep past.
And I don't see
They
myself
can't they
on
can't
my.
they can't they can't let go of being the side console, which it works for them. It works for them, but
Hmm. Yeah, I
when
can't
it
even.
comes when it comes to push the console platform forward,
Mm-hmm.
they are not helping.
Mm-mm.
They're
That's the
keeping
reason
a
why.
console. They're keeping a console alive, and on top of that, they're also the only ones that are doing true exclusives, which I respect. Bigs up to Nintendo,
Yeah, yeah.
but other
When it
than
comes
that,
to
they're
third party, when it comes to third party, I only buy it for my PlayStation because it's a lot better to play. You know, I don't see myself buying it for Nintendo ever. Third party games.
I would only if Nintendo, if Nintendo was more powerful. I'd buy Nintendo any day of the week.
Oh man,
Nintendo's
let me tell you something.
console.
If Nintendo was on the same power as PlayStation,
It
PlayStation would.
doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't even have to be stronger than the PlayStation 5. Just make it capable. That's it. That's
Right.
all I want from Nintendo, and just can't do that.
I really miss Nintendo when they used to talk about the power of Nintendo. I miss those days. Now they're just using gimmicks.
That's what Nintendo is now. So I don't know what to say.
Hmm. Xbox is just, and for example, Xbox is just like going all over the place. They really full third party, and you be thinking, what has this generation has become? You know,
Yep.
ever since Xbox One, they
I'm
start
back.
going down. They start going downhill ever since. Welcome back, bro. They
Oh
start
shit.
going downhill ever since Xbox One. I had a bad feeling they were gonna go downhill ever since they started that TV thing.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I love. Okay, so there's two sides of the story. Xbox went down because of the TV thing and Don Matrick. The real reason
Dom Match.
is
I'm gonna be. No, no. You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I don't think Dom. Listen, Dom
no.
Matrick
Well, that's
left
what.
his.
Well, hold
Hold
on. That's what I said. It's
on,
two
hold on.
sides of the story. Some people blame Don Matrick and the TV thing as the
You can
downfall of
you can
Xbox.
blame Dom. You can
But
blame Dom
hear
Match
me
because
out. Hear me out. The second reason is my theory. Even if the first part is true, real PS2 PlayStation veterans left the 360 to move on to PS4, and that's what killed Xbox One. Because at that point in time, you didn't have any real gamers, dedicated,
all
passionate,
you.
consumer buying gamers. You were left with whoever the fuck is currently over there that has no real passion when it comes to being a gamer, that does not buy games day one, that does not believe in buying games, and that is who you've been stuck with since Xbox One. When PlayStation gamers left the Xbox ecosystem, you definitely noticed, I know 100%, that people like IGN and other people in our community don't understand this second theory that I've been going with for a number of years now. Don't be afraid. I know that there were PlayStation gamers that left PS2 and got a 360 and did not get a PS3. Yes, you're part of the reasons why we don't have really good IPs from the PS3. However, when you left the 360 to go back to PlayStation, you were no longer an Xbox fan. So if you no longer was counted, that was a major blow to Xbox. They could not replicate their fans. And again, where's my fucking phone? I'm gonna, you know, the interview, True Witty, that I'm about to play from Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer admitted in that interview that they were not able to retain their fans during the Xbox One generation, and that it hurt them.
They blame, but the thing is though, everyone is blaming Don Matrick, and to be quite fair, all Don Matrick did was just tell the truth.
He left in July. How was it his fault? That's, I mean,
no. Yeah, but the thing is though, they still blame.
I know, but that's why they're stupid. They're stupid when they do that. Like, I would love to talk to one of these guys, to go in a debate with one of these guys, and for them to blame Don Matrick. And all I'm going to say is, how was it Don's fault when he left in July, months before the system launched? And when he left in July, guess who took over his role? They gave it to Phil Spencer right then and there. Mm-hmm. So not only was Don Matrick nowhere to be seen when the console actually launched that year, Phil Spencer was in charge from the summer of 2013 all the way until now. But he takes absolutely no blame for the failure of Xbox.
No, because they said because they said when Don Matrick says if you wanna offline Xbox, go get a 360. Granted, he was still right, because at the end of the day, what do we have? What did Phil Spencer do right now? The exact same thing. He made sure that you cannot go offline. Game Pass is what, an online console.
I'm not gonna lie.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie.
He was telling the truth the whole time. I guess he said it in a more brutal tone, and people didn't like it. But listen, the fact of the matter is, he was right the whole time. Mm-hmm. All he did was to tell the truth, and that ruffles feathers.
That's the reason why they're doing this third party thing.
Xbox, the problem with Xbox is Xbox fans is, I should say, they don't like to hear what's true. They want to hear false. They want to hear lies. They want to be told lies by everybody else and not be told the truth. That's why they hated Don Matrick. Don Matrick told them the truth. They just didn't want to believe it. Now all of a sudden, Phil Spencer saved Xbox. By the end of the day, nigga, how the fuck is Xbox being saved? Look at Xbox right now, nigga. Nigga, we got Gears on fucking PlayStation, nigga. Don Matrick would never have allowed that to happen.
And very soon they're gonna stop making consoles and start putting that game.
No. They are, nigga. They already canceled that. Nigga, I'm up here. And the funny thing is, the funny thing is, their main console, there was already rumors that it was gonna be OEM as well. So if they release the OEM first, and then realize that people hype up the OEM too much as well, nigga, they're gonna cancel their main console too.
Mm-hmm.
So again, these Xbox niggas are failing the freaking, they're falling into the trap again, and they can't seem to get out of their own way.
I know the community is dying, man.
I don't care if Xbox dies. It could die as much as it wants. At the end of the day, they can't seem to get out of their own way. They can't seem to listen.
Mm-mm.
The amount of people that has actually said, "Nigga, you are the problem. You keep falling for freaking lies. You are the problem." They'll fight you tooth and nail to tell you, no. Xbox is still alive, nigga. How many times I've been on Twitter, and people are saying that nigga, Xbox is alive. Xbox is better than ever. I'm like, okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Xbox,
nigga.
crazy. Xbox is dead as a rock. Not gonna lie, it's sad to see because PlayStation do meet competition, but Xbox wasn't doing
Nigga,
that.
Xbox just needs to get the fuck out of here. That's all they need to do.
Yeah.
At this point, they are no competition.
Mm-mm.
They are legitimately a third party company right now.
Because after that
Nigga,
360,
they are yeah they are at this point, my
Yeah.
nigga. Like
I
for
I
real.
mean, I think that I love that we're talking about it, but again, it's nothing like hearing it. I think that we need to listen to
Oh yeah,
this
play it.
this interview one more time, because what we just
Oh
learned
yeah, play it.
about the industry
oh,
from what's his name? Damn, I can't remember his name. Maximum Dude. Maximum Dude told us that okay,
Mhm.
the entire industry has been using the PS5 as a dedicated lead platform for some time, and that even the PC ports are not made on PC; they're made on console first and then ported to PC. Um, and that's specifically
Hey,
PS5. And then we
hey,
get
Gregory, you are 100% facts, my nigga. Like Xbox may just die being an X console Game Pass machine. That's it. Game Pass
yeah.
may just be the only thing that lives on.
I mean, exactly, because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it be the only thing that lives on? That's the only thing that they actually support.
Exactly.
mhm.
Why give up? And Game Pass is also on PC, so it's not like PC is gonna go anywhere. So why the fuck would you make a console when, quite frankly, they support a PC regardless? Because listen, look, that handheld is a PC. That handheld is a PC, my nigga. So it's like, bro,
Yeah, again, I mean, I love that for about 5 days, almost 5 days straight, these dudes ran around the internet bragging about this PC handheld
oh,
that already existed.
did you see the price
Oh
for it,
yeah,
the Xbox shit?
yeah, we talked about it before they even announced it. We talk about it? Didn't I tell you?
Oh no,
I
we did,
said
but
that it was gonna have to be roughly around $1,000 if they're
yeah,
claiming it is a little bit more powerful than the original one. I knew
yeah,
that it was
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have to
because
be like that.
it was nigga, it was like 700 for the normal, like 1,100 for the. I was like, these niggas ain't.
Yeah, they're not gonna
They
buy that,
don't even,
bro.
they don't even want to buy games, money. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not gonna buy that. I'm trying to find this video. I don't know why I can't find this video.
like, what's the point of buying that if you got like the Asus?
Bro, hey.
There's so many different options. You're right.
And the funny thing is the what's funny about it is they made Hudson Johnson their own animal, bro. That's what's funny about it because they hyped up this stupid shit.
Mhm.
Bro,
Gotta
I'm
find this
like, bro, these
fucking
niggas are
video.
stupid as fuck, bro. That's the only thing I can say, bro. These niggas are stupid.
Yeah,
They
I
never freaking learn.
Okay,
They
I don't
never
know
freaking
why I
learn.
keep losing this video, but I found it. But I put it in my favorites, so I'll be able to find it
and
quicker.
watch
Here we go.
Xbox.
I want you to listen to
Xbox.
what he says, because again, I love that everybody's interpretation of the console war is completely wrong on how Xbox lost and why they lost. Phil Spencer, in his blind rage of the failure of Redfall, told everybody the truth of why they lost. It's because the PlayStation gamers did not come back to Xbox to help them win. Whoever was able to actually harness the power of the PlayStation gamer would win, because we are more powerful than any other community. We will buy a fucking game. We will buy the hardware. We will support that shit. We will post gameplay. We will do a lot. We are very
How the hell?
passionate, but they could
How the
not get
hell?
us back on Xbox One because, yes, the presentation sucked, but also that price. $100 was enough then and now for people to make a normal decision. I'm going to go with the more expensive, the cheaper one. and then
How
they're
the hell is
they're
PlayStation selling more Xbox games than Xbox Gamer?
because yeah, again, I want to be a fan and laugh with you too, but I'm gonna be rational. They're selling more copies than their own games on PlayStation because we buy games. On Xbox, they've been conditioned to only play games through Game Pass. Simple. For a very long, for over 6 years, they have only been conditioned, hey, if this game is on Game Pass, I'll try it out. Over here, we don't have that luxury. We buy the game, we play the game. Over there, they don't buy games anymore. And every year the Game Pass exists, even a higher percentage of Xbox fans will stop buying games. The only games that they're going to buy are the ones that don't make it in the Game Pass. That would be Madden. That would be basketball. That's going to be Grand Theft Auto. Assassin's Creed Day 1, unless they wait for Ubisoft to make a deal with Xbox. Other than that, that's it. Everything else flops on Xbox. And I think a lot of developers are either going to or have already put up their hand and said, it's not worth it no more. It's just not. Mm-hmm. Let me play the soundbite so you guys can see, Xbox, they lost Xbox One in my personal opinion, my educated personal opinion, because PlayStation fans weren't there to help them. Like, yeah, they could have had a rough start. Oh, yeah. Because look, PS3 had a rough start, but look what happened. PlayStation fans were there, and they stayed, and they helped as much as possible. Not all of us was there. Let's not get it twisted. A lot of PlayStation veterans were over on Xbox 360 the entire PS3 generation, and they did not help at all.
Nope.
But there was enough passionate ones that helped not only, tie up the sales, but also surpass the sales of Xbox 360. You got to listen to this.
We're not in the business of out-consoling Sony or out-consoling Nintendo. There isn't really a great solution or win for us. And I know that will upset a ton of people, but it's just the truth of the matter is that when you're third place in the console marketplace and the top two players are as strong as they are and have, in certain cases, very, very discrete focus on doing deals and other things that will that kind of make being Xbox hard for us as a team. That's on us, not on anybody else. Our vision is that everybody who's on console has to feel like they have a great experience and they're a first-class citizen. They've invested a ton in our platform. But we are not in a position, and I see it out there. I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation, where everybody built their digital library of games. So when you go and you're building on Xbox, we want our Xbox community to feel awesome. But this idea that if we just focused more on great games on our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality of most people. Like 90% of the people every year who walk into a retailer to buy a console are already a member of one of the three ecosystems. And their digital library is there. This is the first generation where the big games that they're playing were games that were available last gen. When you think about Fortnite and Roblox and Minecraft, like the continuity from generation to generation is so strong. I see a lot of pundits out there that kind of want to go back to the time where we all had cartridges and discs and every new generation was a clean slate and you could switch the whole console share. That's just not the world that we are in today. There is no world where Starfield's an 11 out of 10 and people start selling their PS5s. That's not going to happen.
There was one other soundbite that I wanted to get around to you guys about 2 weeks ago, but I never got around to letting you listen into it. This is from Christopher Dring. Christopher Dring. He used to work over at GameIndustry.biz. Now he has his own company. I think it's called the Game Business, and I trust him. He's a good guy. He's honest, and I just want y'all to listen to what he has to say.
Xbox's strategy has shifted. I don't think there's a game on the schedule. Actually, let me just check. I don't think there's a game on the schedule that Xbox has coming up this year that isn't launching at the same time on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's not.
It's a different world. There was a time when it was, Outer Worlds, PlayStation 5, Doom, PlayStation 5, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, PlayStation 5, Call of Duty, PlayStation 5, like it's all coming to PlayStation 5. Gears of War Reloaded, which is a bit more of an unusual. We wouldn't expect to see that coming to PlayStation 5. We just had Forza come to PlayStation 5, Oblivion launched on PlayStation 5. These are all Microsoft published games.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Avowed and South of Midnight weren't on PS5. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the end. That's the end of Xbox exclusives, those games. And that's Xbox's strategy. They've shifted away from that. That's, certain publishers and developers have spoken to me like baffled by this, because from their point of view, they want the competition in the console space. They're going, why should we even bother making an Xbox game if this is the strategy?
Now, what's funny is what he said, and what's funny is what I said. But I've been saying that for years, right? I was like, eventually the Xbox, the third party developers are gonna be like, what's the point of making an Xbox game if, first of all, they're going third party? But this is the quiet part that they don't want to admit because they don't want to piss off the fan base. Y'all niggas don't buy games, and they know it. That's one of the reasons why so many Japanese developers don't put their games on Xbox, because they know you don't buy games. Now, because Big Daddy Phil is going third party with the Xbox brand, there's absolutely no real reason to take Xbox seriously as a brand that a lot of developers may just be like, I'll bring the game out on Xbox, but I don't feel like it needs to be day one. It could be like a Black Myth Wukong situation or a Baldur's Gate 3 situation where there's like, yeah, we'll bring it over to Xbox when we're ready. And until then, we're going to launch it on PlayStation 5. That exclusivity window means so much for your sales, not because, it's coming out first, you can focus on development. No, PlayStation fans still take that seriously. If we get a game exclusively for a month, for 2 months, 3 months, a year, that's a lot. That energizes us to go out and buy that game. And I could see that could be the case for any title, especially even if it's not, going to have any exclusivity, but the parity is different, where it just plays way better in PlayStation, or we have better features, again, like with PS5 Pro than Xbox versions. And again, that is enough for gamers to say, fuck Xbox. And again, developers looking at all of this. They're looking at how many Xbox consoles have sold. They're looking at how many gamers have switched over online. They're looking at how many gamers are playing their games. They look at how many gamers are buying their games on Xbox. And they're making strategic decisions on what to do next with their next games that they're bringing out. Is it worth bringing it to Xbox? We do have, a lot of them are saying this. We do have Nintendo Switch 2 out there. It may be difficult to develop for, but it may be more worth it to put the game on Switch than Xbox, because at least on Switch it'll sell something. On Xbox, there's no guarantee it'll sell anything.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, Xbox fans, I know that you guys thought that there was some magical W because of the fucking handheld, and you ended up looking stupid. I told this to True Witty in private. I'm going to say it publicly. These guys worshiping the fake handheld made Microsoft say there's no point in making a real handheld. If you guys are happy about the fake one, then why should we even make the real one?
I was saying earlier that even the console might be in the same boat. They may fail that test too, because remember they're supposed to be an OEM console as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if they fail, if that comes out first and they fail that test, nigga, guess what happens? They all know the base console.
They're not gonna get a base
that
console.
Get shelved. Yeah, that base console gets shelved too. and then comes out that it's canceled. Like,
I think
these
there is
niggas are
not.
stupid.
I don't think there is the base console you think there is. I think there is a system that internally they're sending a message to insiders, a false message that there is a real console being made. They're also doing press releases talking about, yeah, we're making one, but in reality, it's going to be just like a Steam Deck, but it's going to be a console. It's going to be like a fucking Xbox PC, right? And they're going to slap Xbox on that shit, and it's going to run on Windows and also, I'm telling you, it's going to run on Windows. And they're gonna be thinking, oh yeah, it's a real fucking Xbox console, and in reality, it's not, because they already announced that the Microsoft Surface team is taking over the Xbox division.
That was the one that was supposed to be making the console.
Yep. So if that's happened, they've already given up on a dedicated console. Because if they change the whole formula of how they create a console, then that's not dedicated.
CJ, that's what always got me. Is the freaking that that Ronald McDonald nigga that
I know
Jack
who you're
nigga. Yeah, that nigga's not the one working on the Xbox. It's this whole Surface team with the tablet niggas that are working on the Xbox.
If Xbox fans were smart, and we know they're not, they would wake up to realize they're not getting a dedicated console like they have gotten from any other generation. But they're not smart, and they're not going to wake up. And
because they've been told that they're getting a console. Let's just be real. They didn't even say console; they said hardware. So let's cut that out of the way. They didn't say console.
There was something else that Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer said, as well as
Mandela.
They said hardware. And no. Hear me out. It wasn't about that. It wasn't about this. There's something else that all three of them have basically said in their interviews. That things can change. They have all alluded to things being able to change, like plans changing. And I believe that's a dog whistle that they're gonna fail this test. And the reason they're gonna fail this test is because if they fail the other tests, Microsoft's gonna change what they do. Example: they went on the internet, made a fool of themselves, and praised the fake handheld as a real handheld that everybody knew was not a real Xbox handheld, but they still praised it as a real handheld. And that same week, Microsoft made the decision to cancel the real handheld. I don't think that it even matters if something is on the market and selling. It is based on how they react to something, and that is how Microsoft will change their direction of what they're doing with the Xbox brand, whether it's a new hand, obviously.
But these niggas can't see. Yeah, but these niggas can't see that though. That's the problem.
They'll see when it's too late.
You're right. They'll see when it's late, but like when it's late, it's too late. It don't matter at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Them niggas are stupid, bro.
That's what's going on right now. Is that a lot of them have not woken up. Listen to these people. Excuse me. Listen to Sarah Bond. Listen to Phil Spencer about them changing and pivoting and their new whole brand for Xbox, and everything can be an Xbox. And I mean, Gears Reloaded launching day and date, whether it's a remaster or not, that's a first party game.
Induced. Yeah. Apparently the handheld price is like 700 something for the base one and 1,100 for the X.
Yeah, that makes a good amount of sense. We kind of said something like that. I mean, I was being generous. Yeah. I think what I said was it should be roughly it should be roughly around the same price as the old one, but because they kept touting like it has more of this or more of that than the original ROG Allies, that's when I was like, then maybe they'll try to charge y'all more, and that is exactly what they're doing. Yeah. They're gonna try to charge you guys a lot more. At this point in time, right? I'll say this. At this point in time, that is Xbox's way of trying to suss out, and this is the I think this is the biggest test that I'm ever going to say. I'm going to come back to this months later. I'm going to take credit, and I'm going to get so many W's, and I'm going to get a lot of flowers. They're trying to figure out how many hardcore fans there are left. I'll trust and believe this is the real test. So once the system comes out, the fake handheld, once the fake ROG Ally handheld comes out and it sells, they're going to see how many of them sell day one, and they're going to try to suss out who are the real ones. Now, obviously, we're not talking about the scalpers. We're talking about the people that buy the system and then activate it. They're going to look at that. They're going to have the data because they can get that data real quick based on everybody that hooks up to that system and logs in. Then they're going to be like, it's only y'all? Okay, we don't have to do this next gen. We don't have to do, because we get a real idea of, y'all said y'all wanted a handheld next gen. We give you one. Y'all not here. Then maybe if we bring out a console, this is the number that we have. And then they can go forward with the real strategy for next gen. And it's not like, okay, y'all didn't buy the fake handheld, so we're not doing anything next gen. I don't think that's the case. It's just that they don't have to try hard next gen.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny though, Jay? It always confused me. Why the fuck are they bringing out a handheld just at the very end of this generation? Like like, you know what I mean?
Because for
like,
3 years,
no
Xbox fans have been running around the internet spreading a false rumor that there was a handheld, when in reality it was never really a handheld. That's why they quickly teamed up with ROG Ally to slap a fucking Xbox sticker on existing ROG Allies that were not selling, to make it seem like they were listening. But in reality, they were never listening. They just want to make it seem like they were listening. See, what Xbox fans really ordered was a dedicated handheld made by Microsoft. They did not want Microsoft to partner up with Asus to make to put an Xbox sticker or Xbox button on the existing ROG Allies, make it a little bit more powerful, and also make it way more expensive than anything you've ever paid for that has an Xbox logo on it. But again, they failed the test. They weren't paying attention.
yeah. King Juice, they ain't gonna buy it. I know.
Fuck no, they're not gonna buy it.
They ain't gonna buy this shit, nigga. This shit is dead in the water, bro. Hey, it's funny though, because ROG Ally basically just shot themselves in the foot because nigga,
they already have this promotion that everything's an Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So what's stopping them from making a little Fire Stick for next gen and saying, well, this Fire Stick, if you plug it up to any device, you will have Xbox like on the go interface, and then you can just stream everything.
Hey.
Because again,
you know what?
If they don't see anybody give a fuck about this handheld, and they really, really lose when it comes to Grand Theft Auto. And what I mean by really, really lose, that not even the desperate people buy an Xbox to play Grand Theft, then I feel like Microsoft's going to take the hint and be like, okay, yeah, we're going to do something next gen. It's just not going to be what y'all think, but we're going to keep you at the edge of your seat, just like what happened with the fake handheld. And I feel like if you're a dumbass on the Xbox fanboy committee, then you're going to fall for the trap again. Yeah, you always get hyped for the worst fucking rumors, but man, I'm going to tell y'all right now, man, whoever's left over there on Xbox, bro, if y'all really think they going all in, you really think they going to go head to head with Sony again to lose? Bro, it's Nintendo all over again. If you have not learned shit, go take a look at how many fucking rounds Nintendo lasted against PlayStation before they did the blue ocean strategy and said we can't compete no more. 2. 64 GameCube. After that, they was like, nah. We lost 2 gens back to back. Nope. And how many straight generations has Xbox lost now? 2 generations back to back. Mark my fucking words. The next fucking thing they do is gonna definitely be a blue ocean strategy, because it is not gonna be in direct competition with whatever the PS6 is about to do.
I wonder how how much does Game Pass have to increase before they're like, oh, this is too much. This is too much.
I mean, I don't know. I think that with what we heard about Trump and doing a deal with China for the tariffs, and that means that all the people that were freaking out about the tariffs going crazy and making actually prices have dropped. I went to my local Walmart.
I know.
Shit,
I
saw
know.
those canned sodas we used to see, those kind of like tall ones, but not like it's not the same as a normal can. It's a little bit longer. They're selling that shit for $1 now. The Fantas, they're selling it at the beginning they're selling that for $1. The fucking Pringles have went down for $4 all the way down to fucking like $3.20. Like things are getting a lot lower than you would expect. Now, this is also because a lot of those foods have those chemicals that they're trying to get rid of and that these companies want to quickly sell, but that's in the benefit of the consumer. Because now they want to get rid of their existing stock, they're going to sell it for even cheaper. But we don't have to worry about the shit going high anymore because Trump made a deal with China and China made a deal with Trump. I don't know why people don't want to make sure that's the big news. The distraction now is riots and right now is the immigration riots, which is a distraction that everybody said he wasn't going to do anything with China, and he made a deal with China. But now, conveniently, last week, the mainstream news doesn't cover that he made a deal with China to avert tariff war. The fucking mainstream news starts to be like, oh well, look at the fucking the riots that he incited with whatever the fuck he did. Cause every fucking week they say he do something and it's like, bro, okay. There's a lot of people that make videos about me and say bad shit. It's like at a certain point in time, you gotta fucking ignore that shit. Like, bro, it'll drive you crazy. And that's a lot of them people that hate Trump, they are fucking batshit crazy because they let every little thing affect them, man. They need to calm the fuck down, man. You got 3 fucking years. Don't stress yourself out, man.
Exactly. That's what they're going to. Like they got about 4 years
exactly. The Rant and Israel war is a distraction too. There's so many distractions that randomly pop up.
I'm gonna talk to you about something that happened like after the stream.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to our towards our last topics so we can get up out of here. But what we've covered so far is the financials. We covered, the PC port begging, and recently we covered how PC has a negative impact on Sony's financials, as well as developers knowing that, first of all, going with PC is not going to help them make good PlayStation ports. So they're going to start, obviously all of them were. We already know from Maximum Dude 2 weeks ago when we covered the soundbite that developers were making games first on PlayStation and then porting them to PC. And that's also third-party titles as well. Maximum Dude has really good connections. When I heard that, I was like, okay, I'll take him at his word. He's not that type of content creator that's gonna lie. Then, at these events, I saw him with like Sega and people like that. Like, bro, he knows people. He knows what's going on in the industry. So that right there, that little insight that, all these developers are making games for PS5 and then porting them to PC. It's something that PC fans have been lying to us for a long time. They kept telling us that developers make the games on PC and then they port them to console. But if what Maximum Dude is saying is to be believed, then they make them on console and port them to PC. That means PC isn't as special as you guys said it was. It's never exactly. It's never been, because you guys don't give them the type of money on average that console gamers give them. Y'all niggas are picky. You're picky and you're not consistent enough for them. And because you're picky and you're not consistent, they can't trust you.
If we got the other audio where the nigga I can expose what PC niggas do, they they pirate, how much the percentage of piracy they do and all that shit. You remember, you have the audio, I believe you do. I believe you have the audio.
For what?
About that nigga. That nigga that talked about how the PC community they the percentage of them that still buy games when they're super cheap and shit like that.
I don't think I have that soundbite, but I know what you're talking about. But
Exactly.
I don't. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there's a bigger percent. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a percentage of these guys that they buy. I might actually have that. I don't know if it was recent enough for you to remember. It may be in my console or folder.
Hey, what the fuck is
You
wrong with
don't
my memory?
remember.
Why
Yeah,
y'all-
you don't remember shit, and you know that shit. Let me see.
this
I'm gonna see where the fuck that would be at.
nigga fucked up. I ain't do that. My memory
I
ain't
mean,
that
it's
bad.
fucking true. Shit, I was surprised you remember that shit because I didn't. You had to refresh my memory just now. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the percentage of these guys that buy games day one is very low. Like they wait for sales, they wait for discounts, they buy them on different. Yeah, I remember this. They buy them on different storefronts with a discount. They rarely buy their games at it wasn't a soundbite. It was a soundbite, but it was also we also had a chart for that too. God damn. I cannot remember for the life of me where that shit is.
You'll probably remember probably another stream or some shit.
Yeah, it's somewhere. But yeah, they definitely when it comes to like buying stuff, they're not very consistent for a third party developer, especially big $1 billion companies. So I feel like if they have the data, the developers have the data and they know who's more faithful, they're going to support the people that are more faithful. You start your development on PS5 because they're more faithful. So you're not just giving back to them because they're faithful. You're giving back to them. You're making sure your games lead platform so they stay faithful. If you make a bad port even one time, it could fuck your money up on PlayStation. If you make a bad port on fucking PC, it doesn't matter because they're not consistent anyway.
Yep.
I think we just unlocked some real fucking mind-blowing shit. Let me say that again for you guys. If you make a bad port on PlayStation, it's going to fuck your money up. But if you make a bad port on PC, it's not going to fuck your money up because you normally don't make good money on PC anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the reasons why they get worse, like they get really bad ports, but the developers never seem to improve. But on PlayStation, they're like, nah, we want to make sure we optimize this shit. Like what CD Projekt Red just said, we want to make sure we optimize it because when Sony took Cyberpunk off the store for like,
if you listen to what they said we do not want to make that mistake again.
Exactly. When Sony took CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk off of the store, I think for like maybe a month or two, it hurt them, and they were like, never again. Like, why would we fuck our money up and our long existing relationship with the fans with PlayStation by giving them a shit port? When and I know you're not gonna like to hear this, guys, but that's one of the reasons why we have that thumbnail. When we know that PlayStation is the industry king, why would we fuck them over? I want y'all to think. No, I'm not trolling. I'm not baiting. These like PlayStation is currently the industry king, and what I mean by that is every developer depends on their success so they can stay alive. There's not a single console community right now supporting the entire spectrum of the industry like the PlayStation gamer. Xbox fans only support games that are in Game Pass, and by support, that means playing a game and dipping their feet in, but never actually buying them, even if the game is discounted. Nintendo, they're like, well, we're going to support Mario games, but when it comes to other developers, it's a toss-up. And then most developers can't even get their games to run on Switch 2, so you know that's not a reliable source of revenue. PlayStation, we can play indie titles, We can play AAA titles. We got the first party titles. We got the biggest fucking install base right now on consoles. We could play MMOs if we want. We got the option of doing fucking 120 frames per second. You know what I'm saying?
MMO right now. I'm playing one right now, bro.
So
Fantasy Star Online too.
Yeah, so it's a big difference when you really think about it. Like, who is the industry really depending on to continue to be successful so that they can still have a fucking job in the morning?
PlayStation.
Like, I mean, you can call me a fanboy all you fucking want, but you know I'm fucking telling the truth.
It's all facts.
The dev kits are not out to every developer in the world for the Switch 2. And even if it was, a lot of developers will probably reject bringing some of their bigger games to Switch because they have to make too many compromises. When it comes to Xbox, we know they don't buy games. And then who else you got? PlayStation. The one constant.
PlayStation right now is the king of consoles.
So,
I didn't see that thumbnail until I actually looked at it properly. I read it was you having the the PlayStation crown.
When it comes to that handheld, you talking about that $1,000 handheld for Xbox. Like, let's put it this way: they're trying to make as much money as possible after off of the little amount of Xbox fans they possibly can before they exit. That's really all it's about. They know nobody's gonna come back to Xbox.
You gotta also understand that this ROG, they gotta also make money off of this, and also obviously since they're partnering with Xbox has to make money off it. That's why the price is so fucking high, because they both need to make money off of this. And if it fails, nigga, Xbox is taking ROG is taking a bigger loss because they nigga, no one wants to buy the Xbox fake handheld. ROG is gonna take the bigger loss because they partner with freaking Xbox to make the whole shit.
I agree.
Very well. After Xbox,
thank you, Zach, for subscribing.
Yeah, after Xbox goes down, I think I'm finna take a vacation, play my PlayStation on the beach in the hotel room.
Yeah,
like, I'm serious, man. Xbox is dead, bro. Ain't nothing to talk about.
Go do that shit right now. There is absolutely no reason for you to wait. Xbox is a zombie, right? Like they've already been dead. It's just a puppet master. Like
I'm up here enjoying my personas.
Yeah, I know. I mean, exactly. I tell anybody, if you're waiting for Xbox to officially be confirmed dead, I don't know when that's gonna happen. It is dead. It's just Microsoft they're too cocky to admit defeat. It's over. They're bringing their games to their competitors' platform, but they have not announced that they have officially left the console market.
The only thing that would the only other game that has not come over to PlayStation that would actually complete the trilogy is Halo.
Exactly. And once that one comes over, that's when it's gonna be. It's gonna be.
Because right now I see this as a wrap. Like, for a long time.
Nigga, I've never thought I'd see Gears on nigga, I able to play Gears on a fucking PlayStation, bro. That shit is freaking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Xbox is very predictable. At this point, Xbox is very predictable.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I'll say a little bit because, like I told Truity, there's no update on Fable, State of Decay, but again, you can't give updates on things that cost money. And I know I'm gonna say this to you guys. I know that sounds stupid, right? Like, Jay, what are you talking about? Microsoft has money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, rich people stay rich because they don't spend a lot of money.
By not spending anything.
There you go. So why would Microsoft announce that they're still working on State of Decay, they're still working on Fable, like at the same showcase? Why would they do that like that? Like, they're not gonna do that because that's too much money, bro. Because every time you release a game, you gotta it costs a shitload of money. First of all, making the game, now making it for multiple platforms, and then second, knowing that one of the platforms, your own, is not going to make any revenue.
Nigga said, "Don't remind me of State of Decay."
Mm-hmm.
Yo, the nigga said, "Don't remind me of State of Decay." God damn.
Yeah, I mean, I got to remind you because these idiots thought that was going to save them. Remember, there was a time where every fucking game that got announced, they thought it was the next savior of Xbox until we got to the point that Xbox started putting their games on PlayStation. Like, Xbox never was saved. There was never a singular game that saved the financial status of Xbox brand. It just never happened, bro. It was never a big enough game to convince PlayStation gamers that left the 360 to come to PS4 to go back to Xbox during the PS5 generation. It just never was a game they ever released that was that good. I don't think they had a single fucking game that was that good. Hellblade 2 was short as shit. It was a fucking glorified tech demo.
Unfortunately, I've heard rumors that one's coming. Who the fuck is gonna buy that? Is
yeah. What are you talking about? What?
You
heard a rumor that Hellblade was coming?
Yeah, the rumor that.
No, it's not a rumor. It's confirmed.
Another thing too, most of Xbox.
Xbox confirmed that. That's coming already.
Oh, okay.
That's confirmed.
Okay,
yeah, the trailer and everything. Yeah, that's confirmed.
Another thing was hurting Xbox too.
No one's gonna buy that shit.
These games.
Wait, hold on. There was no trailer. There was a trailer for it.
Yeah, I think there was a trailer for it.
No,
Brian, what are you trying to say?
Honest, no one's gonna buy that shit. No one's gonna buy that shit, bro.
They're trying to recoup as much money as possible from
I know.
So they can just leave with something, you know? I don't think they're gonna leave with something, but maybe they can.
Even if they do leave, they're still gonna they're still gonna make games. It's not like they're gonna stop making games. So it's like, but it's like, bro,
it's really up to them. Like, make games and not, like, again, this is where it gets really weird. Some games are not confirmed for PlayStation yet from Xbox, whether it's State of Decay or Fable or shit like that. And maybe we're just, pushing it. Maybe we gotta wait a little bit.
I know why, and I know why. And it's not like this is like any real information. This is just obvious stuff. They started this third party thing way late. So the fact that they started this shit late, none of these developers have actual time in porting to getting this shit ready for another platform yet. So a lot of them are still going to only say exclusive to Xbox, but they are all coming.
Yeah, I agree.
There are most of these games are mostly almost complete from Xbox, but they're only going to say only on Xbox because they're not all. None of them are really have barely started on the port for PlayStation yet. But once they get the ball running with the ports and getting them shit ready for both platforms at the same time, nigga, that's gonna be day and date.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Once they got because I'll say one thing, even though it's pointless, but Herman was smart enough to understand that they needed somebody to help them pump out the PC ports that they know they didn't want to make themselves, or they didn't want to sidetrack the developers to help with PC ports themselves. Although they did do that. There's still a lot of PC ports where the PlayStation first party is really helping a lot to make those PC ports, and you're taking them away from other fucking projects. But them picking up Nix's really helped produce a lot more PC ports quicker. To the point I told you we would get here, right? They put so many PC ports out that they no longer have any new games to put a PC port out for.
Yep.
So they're all out. What they're doing is they're remastering other games in order to make a PC port of that game day and date. These games were Horizon, Days Gone, Until Dawn. Those 3 games got remastered / remade so that they could provide a day and date PC port because they no longer had any new PlayStation games to make a new PC port because they had already ported them over in record time. Again, a lot of Sony studios have not shown off a lot of games compared to previous generations. Like we're getting, like I said before earlier in the stream, we're getting less games because their focus is so much on PC.
I wish Nixon would go at least back to fucking PlayStation 3 and just bring shit back, but whatever.
Yeah, but their whole I agree. That's a great idea. But their whole focus is to make PC ports. That's why they were acquired. That's why they exist. Yeah, it's only only to make PC ports.
If I was the boss,
listen, I would like them to bring some shit back from the play, even if they have to, even if that's that's where they end up doing anyways. Because I want some of these fucking PS3 games to come back. Like nigga, if that's the only way some of this shit comes back, nigga, like bro, I don't know, bro, I don't know.
Yeah, I look, man, I'm right there with you. I'm never gonna not be right there with you. I'm always gonna be right there with you. But realistically, they're fucking deaf. Sony is deaf when it comes to what really should be done. They really want to make money. They would listen to us, but it's way too fucking late. You know, maybe next gen they do a little bit more fan service when it comes to like listening and putting out shit we want. But at this point, it's like they're on autopilot into the next gen. And we can only hope to God it gets better. Because, again, the PC strategy over the last 5.5 years, it has not benefited the PlayStation console gamer at all. Like, we have gotten the short end of the stick. We've gotten the short end of the stick. Like I said, they've put so many PlayStation games on PC that they had to remaster games so that they can make new PC ports. Now, those 3 remasters I named, Horizon, Until Dawn, which is a remake remaster, and then also Days Gone, they are already, again, they were day and date PC releases. So now what do they got? There's no new PC announcements.
Yeah.
They didn't even announce one during the fucking show, State of Play because they don't have anything. We don't have any more games. I know y'all don't want to hear JayTech say that, but you know it's fucking true. We gotta wait for Death Stranding, and then we gotta go wait for Ghost of Yotei.
That's trying to zone you about a week or so away. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, they can't put any, they haven't announced anything for PC because we haven't gotten any games ourselves. That's that crossroad I told you about years ago that we go get to. Remember I said what happens when they port all of the games over and we don't have no more games to port?
They're gonna go back. They gotta eventually go back in the back catalog.
What that would mean is where we're at right now. We're getting less games, visibly less games, to the point that even PlayStation fans that have been putting it off and really fighting me on those. Jay, what are you talking about? Well, we got games, Jay. We got games. We getting this. We get nigga. Bro, we are not getting the type of games. We are not getting the output of type of games that we used to get, and you fucking know it. Everybody fucking knows we're not getting what we used to get ever since they started fucking around with PC. We are getting way less when it comes to output because their focus is split. When their focus was only on PlayStation 5, only on PlayStation consoles, bro, we were getting outputs like the PS4 generation. Shit, the PS3 generation had better first party output than fucking now. It's embarrassing. Concord doesn't count because it got fucking it got closed down. So what did we get last year? Only Astrobot. Did it do good? Yes, award wise. We still don't have a concrete number of sales. I wish we could have got that from the financials, but we didn't. And now we got Death Stranding. And after that, we gotta wait until October for Ghost of Yotai. We just had our state of play, but we didn't get a confirmation if we were getting any new first-party titles between Death Stranding and Ghost of Yotai, even if it was smaller ones. Nothing. We got no news on we're going to get anything else. And again, this is because they're losing money on PC and not gaining money. If they were making money on PC, the strategy that PlayStation gamers told me would be accurate. We would get more games. But it is not that case, and we're getting less games. I told people we would get less. They told me we would get more. Who's right?
Oh yeah. I
remember that, right? People kept telling me, Jay, we're going to get more because they're making more money on PC. I was like, bro, how do you know they're making more money on PC when they just started a strategy? This is 5+ years later, after the strategy been in effect for 5+ years. And we're getting what? Less games.
I think they should stop.
Jim Ryan and Herman systematically killed what PlayStation stood for when it comes to the output of amazing first-party titles that is quicker than what Xbox is doing. That is quicker than what Nintendo is doing. Never again would that ever be the case because they now have to focus on if PC fans are going to like the game. That's how it is. They got to worry about if PC fans are going to like the game. If they don't think the game is going to be good and it's a live service, it'll get canceled. If it's single player, it's going to be like a big budget title and then they got to spend a lot of money and then we got to wait for that. They feel like they can fill the gap and just autopilot. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Xbox is putting more games out, but it's trash. But they're still putting out more games. Like Sony has IPs. Sony has IPs and they could put those games out, but they don't. Like I said, they don't because they know the PC fans don't like those games, so they're not going to put all those games. SOCOM, Resistance, Killzone, Motorstorm, all those great IPs.
They got IPs like a motherfucker.
Yeah, they got so many great IPs, but they know the PC fans don't like it, so we'll never get it ever again. If they don't think they can sell it to these guys, we won't get it either. It's a package deal now. We are bundled with PC, whether you like it or not. You guys had your chance to fucking speak up and you were silent. You had your chance to convince other PlayStation leaders to speak up, and you were silent.
We'll never get a resistance. We'll never get anything back because of this shit. PC niggas already have their aliens.
Yes, we have Ghost, and I'm excited about Ghost just like you, bro. But you have to admit, in an argument against any other fanboy, it's kind of weak to say, hey, but at least we got this. Yeah, we got to wait until October 2nd to play Ghost, bro.
And that's it for the rest of the year.
That's it. After that, that's it. So, I mean, that's not a flex, bro.
And we only
by you saying at least we get Ghost, you're admitting that we're getting less because you're saying at least. You shouldn't be saying at least. You should be able to name, hey, we getting this. Lost
we don't even know what's coming next year.
Lost Outside doesn't count because that's not a Sony IP.
We don't even know what first party is coming next year.
Nope. We don't. Just admit, man. It's all right to admit I was right about the PC shit. It's really hurt PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all right. The more the quicker you admit it, the more that maybe we can all work together to like get PlayStation back on track. But if they believe that what they did with PC is good because you guys are not admitting that it was wrong, then they will continue down that path. But as soon as you speak out and let them know, hey, bro, we do not like this. This is not helping us. We do not like this. They will listen. You can't keep making excuses for getting less. We didn't used to get less before. Now we're getting less. There's only one thing that changed, and that was their inclusion of PC. That's the only thing that's changed in the last 5.5 years. Gregory, you said I disagree with you, but better than last year. What do you disagree with? All I'm saying is we've gotten less over the last 5.5 years that they've had the PC strategy. I don't see any reason for you to disagree with that. I provided multiple amounts of facts. Shit, if you want me to go give you the list of games that PlayStation has brought out over the years, I can do that. But we've gotten less. Because they have to focus on what PC fans may like. They are so focused on convincing the PC fans to like them that they're not focusing on their fans, which is us. We put them there. Oh, okay. You said not disagreeing. Okay, I thought you said disagreeing. Okay, almost got me there. I'm about to say, I provide nothing but facts, bro. I have 5.5 years to provide you guys with facts. Shit, I've already told you what the fuck was gonna happen. A lot of you guys are still, man, that's wrong. I'm like, bro, if you can't admit that they're fucking up, then they're never gonna get better. You don't want to be an Xbox fan. That's why Xbox fans are the way they are right now. They never hold Xbox accountable. We have to be different, or we will repeat what they're doing. You do not want Sony to be like them. You have to speak out, not just to JTech and his chat. You have to take your ass over to PlayStation's community section. You have to go take your ass over there to their fucking comment section on Twitter, on YouTube, and let them know that you're not happy with their fucking focus on PC. Or they're going to continue to focus on PC. And you will get less as a console gamer. That is what is happening, and that is what will continue to happen. I can't do this without you guys. I couldn't do it without you 5.5 years ago. I can't fucking do it without you 5 years going forward. You have to speak up. I'm not doing this shit for my health. You have to speak up. If you're not happy with what's going on right now, bro, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to get any better if you do not let them know.
The reason, the fact of the matter is the fact that they were working on in some working on PC and the console
exactly.
At the same time, gave them a back door. Gave them a back door to freaking fuck Wolverine up. And
King is right in the chat. He's like, that's why we waiting on Wolverine, because they were working on the PC version at the same time. And again, I want everybody to understand, the version of Wolverine that they're playing on PC is not the PS5 version. It's the PC port that they were making at the same exact time as the PS5 version. They were working on two versions at the same time. So the version that they leaked all around the internet, that's the official PC version. They were making it at the same time they were supposed to be only making the PS5 version. Now tell me I'm telling you guys a lie. I've been telling y'all the truth for 5 years. I'm telling you, man. I mean, it's pretty fucked up. Like true what he said. By them working on the PC version of Wolverine at the same time they working on the PS5 version, it gave PC hackers a much easier method of getting to Insomniac and hacking into them. Because they already... Insomniac is the biggest PlayStation first-party manufacturer of PC ports. They've released more PC ports than any PlayStation first-party studio to date. Let me name them off. 1, Spider-Man 2018. 2, Miles Morales. 3, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. 4, Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man 2.
I'm going to be honest though, Jay. It's because they're the only ones that actually put out any amount of games this generation.
True, but they really like PC. They put out 4 fucking games from that studio alone. And listen to this. I want you to listen to this. They've only had this fucking shit out. Like, they've only started putting games on PC for 5.5 years. But Insomniac has already put 4 games out in less than 5.5 years.
Oh yeah.
They put out more games. They're almost on pace for one game a year since they started the PC thing, the PC port begging thing. Sorry, the PC.
I agree.
Yeah, it's really not helping us as PlayStation gamers.
I agree, but as I can also say, they've also are the only ones that actually put out the most games.
Oh, definitely,
so
definitely.
See why.
Now it's kind of like waning down after they fucking, hacked into them and leaked all that Wolverine shit.
Mm-hmm. As I said, they don't like you as much as you want.
Exactly, bro. We tried to tell these devs that PC fans do not fuck with you guys, bro. It does not matter how many of these little trolls are in the comment section begging for your games. They don't fuck with you, man. The sooner you realize that shit, the better you will sleep.
The fact that matters, as long as they fuck with PlayStation, they don't not fuck with you.
Exactly.
Heck, okay, they don't fuck with their own freaking PC developers. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about PC things. Don't really care about gaming, and that's the honest truth.
They don't. Well, guys, I think we may almost be out of time. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost on cue. We got 35 seconds. I'm gonna wrap this up. Anybody else has any topics in the chat that you think we need to cover at the last minute? If not, y'all can hit that like button and hit the subscribe button on the way out. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday at 11 in the morning if all goes right. I don't work on Tuesday, so we should be good for 11 in the morning. I think the gaming news should still continue to flow until Gamescom in August. There's still much to talk about. But
I believe those Xbox games that did get announced for PlayStation on their showcase will be announced at Gamescom.
Yeah, like Starfield and maybe Fable and shit like that. Yeah.
More and sadly, ugly enough, Halo. But
quite possibly. I'm hearing that Halo's coming out at least like the beginning of next year or at the end of this year.
I heard it was the end of this year. That's what I kept hearing. I've been hearing Starfield and freaking because Starfield's supposed to have a big announcement this year. That's all I've been hearing all online is that Starfield's supposed to have a big announcement this year, which is a DLC and the PlayStation 5 port, and Halo's supposed to be launching this year as well. More likely for the holiday. Since, there's no more freaking Grand Theft Auto.
Sounds good.
So, hey man, it is what it is. Hey man, they're third party now. It is what it is. That's what third party do. They put games on other platforms.
Yeah. I just don't want Sony to go down that stupid ass route.
I know. But
they got a nice leg in that fucking pathway. They don't want to go all the way in. They said that during the Sony financials, but
did you play the video? You didn't play the video, did you?
No. I'm gonna watch it on my own time and cut some clips out, some important parts, because again, Herman's smart enough.
Herman was there again, bro.
I know he was there. I saw him there, but I want to get to the juicy parts, and I don't think he talked about PC much at all.
No, I don't think they really did say anything about PC at all. Like, PC was a very...
I mean, it's crazy. Like, they're all in on supporting PC, but they don't want to talk about how much money they make from PC.
But they didn't talk barely anything about PC.
I mean, it's all right. It's all right to say JayTech and the PlayStation Legion was right about this shit 5 years ago. It's all right to give us our flowers. It's all right to say, hey, bro, we were right. It's all right. Because I'm being honest. It's all right to say we were right because if they're not making enough money to brag about anymore, if they're not making enough money to even put on a chart anymore, I mean, it looks like I was right. It does look like the PC fans don't give two fucks about you. I mean, I feel that Sony should not go down the route that Xbox went down because that was not helpful to them. It hurt them more.
Exactly, hurt them more. Hey, King Deuce. It doesn't matter if you don't even like Halo. That's not stopping Microsoft from putting all that shit over here. Nigga, we don't want a lot of their games, but it's still coming.
Yeah,
it's still coming.
Yeah, these games. Because again, they can't convince their fans to be enthusiastic enough to buy games individually, especially with Game Pass still existing. So, with that being said, it does mean that these games are going to come over here in order to make revenue. It is what it's got. It is. I do find it funny though. The Xbox went day and date with PC, but they never announced that they got a massive financial boost by putting games day and date on PC. I want y'all to remember that. Bro. I want y'all to always remember that Xbox went day and date with PC, so they could never use putting games on PC to make a new revenue source because they already did it so many years ago and they saw absolutely nothing change. If anything, things got way worse for them. Then they had two platforms that didn't buy their games. So they had to turn to Sony, the third platform. That's why they're third party. They had to turn to Sony, the third platform, to start selling their games. Because they put their games on Xbox and they put their games on PC for the last 6-7 years. And they were not making any money off that combination.
The problem is they also got Game Pass on PC, so that also hurt them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they know Sony ain't gonna accept that freaking Game Pass bullshit, so they fuck. Only way we could make this work is if we just put all our games on PlayStation. Stop pouring that shit. And at that point, you just become third party.
Wow,
nigga, what happened to if it's not on Game Pass, you ain't gonna have it. What I mean? that whole thing that Phil Spencer said, that shit gone straight out the window. That shit went straight out the window.
Things are changing because things are changing quickly because they can't afford to stick to those exclusive guns. Why? Financially, it doesn't benefit them, Truity. Their gamers are not going to spend more money because their games are exclusive, especially if those gamers are just playing it off of Game Pass. There's no money exchanging hands when they release a new title. It just doesn't happen.
Nope.
So now they have to look for a new revenue source. They're desperate to look for a new revenue source. In my personal opinion, I hope that PlayStation learns their lesson, and it looks like they financially have. If they continue to devalue the PlayStation brand by focusing so much on PC, and again, don't let it fool you, man. I've covered it a lot today, showing you how much Sony is focused on PC and how much it has hurt us, the PlayStation gamer, that they will end up like Xbox, and it will hurt Sony financially way more than it hurt Microsoft. Because again, Sony has already confirmed the majority of the money that they make comes from PlayStation, not all of their other branches. Nope. PlayStation is the breadwinner of anything Sony has ever done. That is the majority of the money. And if they fuck this up by focusing on PC too much, which they already currently is, and once other gamers wake up to the fact that that's the case, the energy may be gone. But they got some really good games to get the hype going. By default, Grand Theft Auto 6. It's not their game, but it's going to get people excited. You got Ghost of Yota. You got Death Stranding 2 at the end of this month. You got Wolverine. We're not going to talk about Intergalactic because I feel like it's not
God damn,
actually
that
going to
game,
get
that game
people.
is gonna.
Yeah,
That,
it's not going to get
that game is
anybody to
gonna
buy
die.
the game unless they change more of it. Because again, bro, I'm going to tell you right now, a Korean or a Chinese developer can make that same game, probably will, and have a beautiful female, and it will sell better than that. And I hope they make that game.
Mhm.
I hope that game is made, and I hope it's released right alongside that game. And I guarantee you it will sell better than fucking Intergalactic.
Oh,
Because at the end of the day, bro,
but it would.
if you're gonna have a female in your game, I'm gonna be honest. Please make her look like a female, or you're
Please
setting
do.
yourself up for financial disappointment.
We know this.
If you want to add a male to your game, add a male. Other than that, if it's a female, please make her look like a female. I'm like, bro, it is not 2023, it's not 2022, it's not 2020, it is 2025. Just do the right thing. Okay? Like, you want to
Naughty
avoid
Dog,
financial strain, do the right thing.
No Drummond is the problem.
That's cool, but we can't get rid of him. He's an
I know.
award-winning developer. In Sony's eyes, he is a golden goose until he fails. And
We're gonna fail on
we
this.
don't know. I knew you was gonna say that. But we don't know. We can't say that. We don't know. You could say the same thing about The Last of Us Part 2, but sold 10 million copies. Now, there's a lot of hardcore Naughty Dog fans that are gonna buy the game just because it's Naughty Dog. But I do hope that they can release some more gameplay so I can make a little bit more of a judgment on just the gameplay. I think the graphics and gameplay could be great. That's a no-brainer for Naughty Dog.
No.
But the social messaging in that game is so fucking heavy. It's cringeworthy. And it's a major fucking turnoff, man.
Nigga, the trailer was bad enough, nigga. She shaved her fucking head on nigga. What the fuck was that?
I think that before we get up out of here, I think it's important for y'all to understand, bro. They went so fucking crazy with Intergalactic. They absolutely didn't even need to do it. And I want y'all to understand, Intergalactic only got 2 million views. That's way less than Wolverine. That's way less than Helldivers. That's way less than a lot of games.
That's way less than most IPs that Sony released. Bro, no one cared about that. They looked at that and they're like, bro, that looks horrible. Not the graphics, of course, but like, bro, like, nigga, this. A lot of people went around and said that, oh no, the only way she shaved her head is because she's trying to make herself look different so they can, she can do what she needs to do.
Let's take a look at this.
Nigga.
No. There was absolutely no reason to shave her head. And even if her hair was there,
no, you could.
She still has the body of a fucking dude. She has the upper body of a dude. She has the mannerisms of a dude. She has the animations of a dude. I feel like if you wanted to make a character a dude, just make the character a dude. But don't make the character a dude, but then have that dude look like a female that's pretending to be a dude.
It's a conundrum.
Exactly. I feel, again, I don't understand why they you could have made, bro, everything about this looks great. From the ship, and I love my red and black, to the anime, to it being like based around the 1980s and stuff. I love everything about what it is, but the social messaging of the main character is uncalled for. All you had to do is make a fucking attractive looking female character, or hear me out, just make it a dude.
And I don't see what's wrong with that. Make it a fucking nigga.
If you wanted the character to be more mannish, just make it a man.
Exactly. You've always
I
made
mean,
men
it
men,
is
nigga.
it does it never. I can never understand why they go out of their way to make a person look like a dude, but then it's not a dude. But they purposely did this, and they're not in the discussion for a positive thing. Like I said, outside of the graphics, and no doubt the gameplay is gonna be amazing. The social messaging from Naughty Dog, which is already in a hotbed for all the bullshit they put in Last of Us Part 2, not to mention the Last of Us Part 2 Season 2 of fucking the damn TV show.
It's a TV
People
show.
are a little bit mentally drained of them pulling the shit. I just want to finish.
I didn't even start. I didn't even watch the season 2. Honestly, I forgot it came out. I keep saying this, nigga. I forgot that shit came out. I forgot that shit came
Yeah, that
out.
looked like a straight dude, man. That's just a straight dude. It's just like from the waist on up, that's a straight dude. From the waist down, that's a female. She has curvatures down the bottom. That's a fucking female. But from the waist up, everything right there. If somebody watched this and they didn't know that this was a female, they would say this is a dude. And again, I mean, I wish I could talk to Naughty Dog.
Pause it right there when she just standing there looking at the TV. That looks like already looks like a dude right there.
That looks like a dude.
That looks like just a skinny dude. It looks like a skinny dude.
Again, I don't understand why they did this. So like, if you wanted to make a person a dude, make the main character a dude. But again, you're trying to send a social message, and that's what's gonna fuck you up. Unless you bring this game out after Trump leaves office, which is in 2029, you're gonna have some financial problems trying to sell this new IP to people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unless that gameplay is so fucking revolutionary that people can look past her, and it's possible it could happen, but I think the jacket makes her look more feminine, but the shaved head, the face, just, oh my god. That right there, straight dude. The heavy eyebrows. Like, I don't understand it.
And then on top of that, what do you have? What do you? That I remember that picture. That picture is a meme, bro. That picture is a meme with the artwork and shit.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no drug. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
If you don't know, I'll let you guys know. Selling a new IP is very, very hard. It is always a big risk. Like, new IPs can flop. Like, if he would have brought out a Last of Us Part 3, it could have been woke to holy hell, but it would have still sold because it has a fan base.
And then on top of that, she also has a freaking female boss. So it's like it's all
it's all female, and there's no men here. I didn't see a single man character. I've seen pictures,
but those pictures of her former crew though.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who she's hunting apparently.
They could have did much better.
That image looks manly as fuck, bro. Oh shit!
If they announced that you could put a wig on her or some shit, then I might, fucking makeup or something. This game gonna be dope with the scenery and shit. I know Naughty
Oh yeah,
Dog.
you're
Like Naughty Dog about to make one of the best looking games. This is going to be an amazing fucking game, but visually and gameplay wise. But man, I don't think they could leave the social messaging alone if somebody like forced them to. Man, like they can't. Neil Druckmann cannot help himself. I don't understand why he likes to do it, but then he's afraid of any backlash. Like anytime people talk about like, hey, bro, we don't like this. It's like he's made a fucking name for himself. And again, they had to put a gag. Remember, they had to put a gag order on the actress for Intergalactic because she was like talking bad about fans. It's like, bro. Yep. And then I'm looking at these videos where everybody put a beauty filter on her to make her look better. And also, you know, the actress herself is very political. The way she talks.
Not surprised.
Like she's, again, I don't know what they're going to do, you know, because they, just like the Snow White chick, they have multiple old videos of her saying stupid shit. And the internet is forever. You know what it is.
Yep.
Everybody already know how woke this is. It looks woke. We're not talking about the scenery or the graphics. The main character is sending a social message. Damn, bro. They couldn't help their fucking self. They could not help themselves. Well, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for dealing with that. Shout out to Naughty Dog. You know, I'm pretty sure Intergalactic's gonna be one of the best looking and best gameplay wise titles we've ever seen. But that female character, you can do better.
You are right. You are right, Jay. You are right, Jay. They better wait until 2029.
Yeah, like release that game in 2029, and you'll be all right. Maybe you'll have a Democratic president and things go back the same way. But if you release that game anytime now, in the next 3 years, you're going to have a hard time trying to sell that to the American public or to any public. Like it's because people now know what to look out for. They know what to look out for, and that's why it's so dangerous for a developer to add social messaging in their games, whether it's heavy or light, because gamers know what they don't like. And if they see what they don't like, they're not even gonna give you a chance. They're not gonna buy your game. And this is a new IP, which is, bro, it's always a fucking gamble. You know, if the fans are gonna come back for your new IP, they may just be like, nah, I'm not fucking with you. I was here for Last of Us only. Like, so they gotta be very, very careful with this. And as you can see, they're not. They really don't care. Well, that's it. I'm out. Everybody have a great night. I'll see you on Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. with a news and updates. Thank you, True Witty. Thank you, Brian. Good night.